On day 1, I spawned in as a baby nuclear dinosaur. My parents and I were hovering over a pool of radiation, along with the rest of my other dinosaur people.
What's going on? How are we alive?
My experiment has worked! Dinosaurs are back from extinction, and you will all work under me to help me destroy and dominate this pathetic world!
What? Let us out! Chaos ensued as my people all around began to resist.
I want to go home!
Some tried to break free, but any who did were killed as punishment.
This way!
We all jumped out of our cages and found an exit, but before we could make it out, my father was killed! Dad! Because of my anger, I let out a powerful nuclear explosion, knocking the scientists back.
You are a special one. Kill the mother and bring me that child!
Scientists began to move in, and we knew we had to go.
Son, this way!
On day 2, my mother and I escaped the building and were running for our lives. However, the security around this place was intense. The people were using crazy technology and gadgets we had never seen before, and it wasn't long until we were surrounded.
Son, no matter what, don't turn back!
What? I'm not leaving you! One of the men rushed in and blasted my mother back with electricity.
Ah! Son, we were given a second chance at life. Using it to destroy others isn't right. Use this opportunity and stop it!
As she said this, a cage was dropped on top of her, and the men all snapped their heads towards me. I was able to make it through a small crack before they could catch me, but unfortunately, I ran right off of a cliff. Ah! My mom, all of my people. I need to find a way to free them, and maybe we can finally have a chance to live our lives again. As I said this, however, I heard a growl. Huh? I turned and saw I was in the middle of a junkyard with a bunch of wolves surrounding me.
Look what we have here. I don't know what it is, but maybe if we bring it back, we will get a treat.
Oh no, one of them ran forward and slashed me, causing me to roar out. Because of this, I blasted out a nuclear beam all around, exploding anything it touched.
What is this thing?
I used up too much energy though, causing me to pass out. On day 3, I woke up inside of a pen. I was in a player's base, trapped with a spider.
They caught you too, huh? We caught more loot for you, Pops.
What is that? I asked for diamonds, not a mutated freak. You know, I guess I'll see what it drops. The player left to get a weapon. Oh no, I gotta get out of here. I quickly hopped out of the pen and tried to find a way out. However, as I turned the nearest corner,
What are you doing?
because of the noise, the player rushed out with OP gear. Leave me alone. He charged in to take me down, but before he could, I was webbed and zipped up to the roof. Whoa!
Come on, this way.
My new friend and I were about to escape, but before we did, I saw there in the player's loot room held a strange nuclear fossil. Whoa, is this connected to my people? Only one way to find out.
What are you doing?
I ran inside the loot room and touched the fossil, causing the entire room to shake. On day 4, my nuclear radiation began to spread into the fossil. Because of this, I upgraded. I grew larger in size, gained 5 more hearts, and can now roar out nuclear blasts at will. Whoa.
The loot is trying to escape. Stop him!
The wolves ran forward, but with a single roar, I blasted them all out of the room, sending them across the base. You wolves are useless! I have to do everything myself! The player rushed in towards me to take me down and pulled out an elemental weapon? Sure, say hello to my amazing #1 sword! He used the sword and began to rain down powers all around me. Whoa! God, dude, stop talking! The player slashed me back with his weapon, and I thought I was gonna be done for. But I turned and saw the fossil had mutated, transforming into a baby nuclear triceratops.
How long was I asleep for? It's felt like ages.
Whoa, did I bring you back to life? I don't know what voodoo stuff this is, but it's freaky! The player left, leaving the wolves behind.
No, Dad! Come on!
What kind of weird lizards are you?
We are dinosaurs, and maybe these fossils can give me the advantage in stopping that scientist. As I said this, my head started to pound. Strange nuclear explosions began to erupt all around me, and my vision quickly faded. On day 5, I looked around and saw I was in a strange nuclear forest, and in front of me was a large radiated Brachiosaurus.
I am the first nuclear dinosaur, and I have brought you here to unlock your destiny.
Destiny?
You are here to help give us dinosaurs a true second chance at life. In order to defeat the evil Dr. Zahar, you must find and create your ultimate nuclear team of 6. Only then will you have a chance at our revival.
Really? Where do I start? Just then, my vision flashed and I was in a desert. In front of me was another nuclear fossil. However, I was in the middle of a rat hideout. Rats were all around, and some were chewing on the bone.
Yeah, this tastes weird.
Hey, that's mine! I charged forward to take the bone back, but this caused all of the strange rats to spot me.
It's another nuclear creature. Charge!
They all charged in, and with their numbers, I was getting overwhelmed. It wasn't long until I was knocked back.
You stupid dinosaur! You nuclear creations are the reason why us rats are forced to live in this dumb desert to begin with! That evil scientist!
Scientist? Dude, I'm not with him. I'm trying to stop him.
Oh, is that so? Well, if this weird tasting bone is what you want, then you'll have to do something for us!
On day 6, I followed the head rat until he gave me a strange map.
That evil scientist destroyed our entire home! We had to leave and didn't even have time to get our amazing cheese! If you get it for me, that weird bone is all yours!
Oh, sweet. Sounds like a deal. I headed out, following the map's directions as it led me to the edge of a modern town. But everything was destroyed, and all that was left was radiation. The scientist did this? Stop! Huh? I ran over to see another street in flames. There, laughing above its destruction, was the evil scientist. He had gotten more powerful and had nuclear dinosaurs destroying everything. And it was obvious they were forced.
Yes, my experiment is going as expected. We must find the other escaped dinosaur. With everyone following me, I will show this world my true wrath. On to phase 2.
Phase 2? This is awful. Another dinosaur? I hate you! All the villagers' heads snapped towards me and began to chase me out of the city. Wah! I hate all reptiles now! Yeah, imagine having small arms! Thankfully, after enough running, I was able to lose them. Great, now they hate all of us dinosaurs. However, I looked forward, and in front of me was a trashy-looking sewage entrance. The map leads in here. Time to get their cheese. On day 7, I entered the sewer system until coming across a snake. Hi there, I'm looking for cheese.
Oh, that stuff? Follow me.
Sweet. I followed the snake until making it to the sewer's main room. There waiting for me was an even larger Titan snake. Whoa, awesome! You're basically the size of a dinosaur.
Yes, I am. But unlike you, I belong here. You belong in the past. Sir, he's looking for the rat's cheese. Cheese? He is lucky if he makes it out of here alive.
Just then, the entrance I came from slammed shut. Oh no. Ah! I was running through the sewers with the large snake biting at me from behind. I was trying to roar at him all I could, but he was too strong. I ran into another room, and there I was surprised to see looking at me was the Triceratops.
There you are!
I need help! Just then, the snake broke through the wall.
Another one? Looks like I'm eating good.
Hang on!
She ran up and, with her horns, rammed into it, exploding it back.
Follow me!
On day 8, I followed my new friend until arriving at the rat's old home. There was cheese everywhere. Whoa, thanks for helping out.
Of course! You're the reason I'm alive! Anything to help!
With that, I quickly went over and collected the cheese, and the two of us were able to escape. We made it back to the rats' camp, and they were stoked.
Cheese? Sweet, amazing cheese!
They all swarmed around the cheese and gave me the fossil.
Just shut up and take it!
I listened and went over to touch it. Because of this, I felt stronger once again. My radiation spread, causing me to gain 5 hearts, grow larger in size, and now I had my very own nuclear blast ability. Yeah. I looked over and saw the fossil had turned into a nuclear raptor.
Ah, yeah, what a rush, thanks!
This is how I build my nuclear team. There must be 4 more fossils out there. As I said this though, the snakes from before burst in.
What the?
There you are. You think you're better than me? I'll show you!
The large snake slithered in ready to take us down, but with the 3 of us nuclear dinosaurs together, we were able to blast it back at once, completely taking it down in a hit.
We make a great team!
You can say that again. Maybe you all do have what it takes to stop that evil scientist.
Yeah, he plans on using our people to rule the world. We can't let that happen. Just then, the spider from before ran in.
I knew I smelled radiation over here. You guys helped me out in that dumb player's base, so I have something for ya.
On days 9 to 10, we all followed the spider until reaching a deep, dark, foresty area. There were webs all around, and it felt safe.
This was my home before I was taken by those wolves. It's the safest place in the forest. It's perfect.
With that, we all began to build our homes here. We made sure to make homes built for dinosaurs, and even added a nice river that went through it as well. After, I made a home for my mother, right next to mine. I promise, Mom, I'll find you. As I said this, jungle beastly plants came from out of the ground and began to snap at us in the base. They claimed anything they touched. Ouch! Ah! With a nuclear roar, I was able to make them explode back into the ground. And I saw they left behind radiation? I blasted another one, and exploding out of the ground from it was a radiated shrub.
Hello, nuclear dinosaur! We have come to ask you to prove your wits. If you do, our people have a special prize for you.
Another fossil. Whoa, you're on. The radiated shrub then shot up with excitement and sprinted out of the base. Hey, wait up! On days 11 and 12, I chased after the shrub until making it to the edge of the large, dense jungle.
At the center, a strange glowing fossil awaits you. Good luck!
Okay, it shouldn't be that bad, right? But as I looked around, I saw there were more and more of those deadly plants throughout. I climbed up to the nearest jungle tree and saw if I went through it on land, I would be a goner. I think I have an idea. Because I mastered my nuclear roar, I was able to jump and roar below me, causing me to launch up to the next treetop. Yeah, being nuclear is sweet. With this, I was able to go further and further inside, using its river as a clear pathway. From there, I was able to make it to the center of the jungle, where a fort wall blocked my path.
Halt, trespasser!
The tomb from there started to shoot out spears at me. Ow! Hey! I tried my best to dodge, but it was very accurate. So I roared out at him, which exploded him back with radiation.
Ouch! Ouch! Wait, no, that's the nuclear dinosaur. Let him through, dude. We literally challenged him. Oh, that's right.
The fort gates opened, and in front of me was another nuclear fossil. I went to go touch it, but was then rammed into and pushed aside. Ouch! I looked over, and there in front of me was the tomb leader.
The nuclear dinosaur. You finally made it.
On days 13 to 16, I was brought over to a starting line.
In front of us is a jungle race designed to be one of the toughest ever made. I know of your powers, and I want you to be a protector to my people. So if I win this race, you will do just that. But if you win, you can take the fossil. Do you accept?
I'm guessing I don't really have a choice. Let's do this. The two of us lined up as one of the tombs yelled,
Begin!
The Tomb Leader and I began to race, but he immediately turned right? Huh? I raced through the trees and started to roar out, blasting one down after another to create a clear pathway. I can't lose! But I looked over and saw the Tomb Leader running through a clear path, leading straight to the finish line. He must have planned this from the start. This race is rigged. I tried to catch up to him, and thankfully from afar, I shot a nuclear blast at the tree above him, causing it to trap him all around.
What? No!
While he was trapped, I managed to cross the finish line. Yes, I did it!
Fine. You can have your sacred nuclear fossil.
But just then, we heard the sound of yelling. We both turned around and saw smoke coming back from the tomb fort.
Oh no!
On days 17 to 18, the leader and I made it back, but the entire fort was being destroyed by other dinosaurs. They were all being commanded by the scientists, and the one doing the most damage was a giant nuclear pterodactyl.
Where is the nuclear T-Rex?
I gotta get out of here! I made my way towards the fossil, but quickly saw that it was destroyed? No! Now how am I supposed to build my team?
There you are! I know what you're trying to do, and it won't work! I created you, and these cursed fossils. And now, with one destroyed, you don't stand a chance. You are my property!
All the soldiers had their guns aimed towards me, but the Tomb Leader dropped down in front of me.
Hold on!
He shot a blast beneath our feet, causing us to fall into the unknown. Wah! The two of us fell in a cave below the surface.
Come with me. They will for sure follow.
I did as he said and quickly escaped to the outskirts of the jungle.
My people, they're all gone. Those dinosaurs did this.
No, it's not our fault. That scientist, he's forcing us. I'm trying to take him down, but without all the nuclear fossils, that may be impossible.
There may be a way we can make another. Follow me.
On days 19 to 21, I followed the Tomb Leader until reaching a strange-looking ruin.
Enter here, complete the trial, and you are allowed to summon anything within there.
Whoa, thanks! I gave the Tomb Leader the coordinates to my base, and we split ways as I headed inside, until making it to an open temple room. There at its center was a jungle tree. Oh, mighty tree of the jungle, can I have a nuclear fossil? But as I wished this, its roots spread throughout the floor, and out from them came out alive trunk beings?
Prove your strength, or die trying!
The wood beings charged in towards me. Bring it! I charged at them as well, as we clashed in the center. They had jungle and earth abilities, and would use the tree's resources to their advantage. Yeah! Oh yeah? Take this! I shot an explosion at them, but my radiation caused them to grow? Oh, come on! They were now much larger, but I had an idea. I began to blast them even more and more, and they just kept growing.
This guy's an idiot!
Oh yeah? I shot one last time, which caused them to clash against the roof. Because of this, the ceiling collapsed over them, taking them down. Haha, take that! Am I strong enough now?
Yes, very worthy. What do you wish for?
I want this broken fossil fixed, please. Because of my wish, the tree itself transformed, and it turned into a fixed version of the nuclear fossil. That's what I'm talking about. I walked up and touched it, which caused me to upgrade once again. I grew larger in size, gained 5 more hearts, and felt stronger than ever. And there in front of me was a nuclear Elasmosaurus. Awesome. However, from this transformation, I was pulled into a vision. On days 22 to 26, I looked around and was in a battle-torn village. Not only villagers were running around frantically, but all the friends I made along the way were as well.
The time for the new era has come, and the nuclear T-Rex is nowhere to be seen. Show these people why I will lead us to a new world.
He was leading all the dinosaurs, and with their nuclear destruction, no one stood a chance. All animals and people were dying. No! I was pulled back away. Ah! Was that the future? No, I can't let that happen. My new friend and I walked out of the temple and outside of its doors, but as we did, I heard the bushes rustle around us. What was that?
Who beats me? I just spawned, dude.
A figure slashed the two of us at once, causing us to pass out.
Bring them back to the pack.
On days 27 to 29, we woke up and saw we were in a cage. We were in front of a newly built base with the wolves all surrounding us. What are you doing?
Because of your mess, our owner abandoned us. Yeah, now we don't even have ourselves a home. But when we turn you into him, he'll surely forgive us.
You guys are crazy. I wanted to let out an explosion, but with the cage being too small, I knew it would kill me and my new friend. Just before I could think though, the player and his friends came running in from their house. You dumb dogs are back?
Yeah, and look what he brought us! That dumb mutated freak! And he's getting bigger now, too!
He pulled out his sword and ran in to slash at us, but the wolves cut him off.
Are you proud of us, sir? Yeah. Can we have our home with you again?
Because of this opening, I blasted my explosion above the cage on the tree, causing it to collapse over us, breaking it. Come on! We ran, and the players turned towards the wolves, extremely angry. You stupid wolves! You can never do anything right! I own you, and I think this is the last time you let me down! How horrible! He's treating them just like the scientists treated us, and I won't stand for it. On days 30 to 32, the players walked forward, ready to take the wolves down instead, but I ran in and jumped in between them. Oh, nice, T-Rex! With my nuclear powers, I blasted towards them, completely killing them in a single hit.
Yeah! Take that, you dumb humans!
Okay, someone's excited.
Our owner, he turned on us. He never cared about us to begin with. All we wanted to do was prove our worth to him.
It's okay, I understand. My people are going through the same thing.
I know you're looking for the fossils, and as a thank you, I'll show you to the next one.
With that, I sent the Malisaurus and wolf pack back to my base, while I followed the head wolf. And it wasn't long until we reached a beautiful lake in the forest. And there, over the waterfall, was another nuclear fossil. Awesome! On days 33 to 35, I blasted under my feet and landed on top of the waterfall. I was about to collect the next nuclear fossil until a huge set of wings flew over me. Who's there? I got blasted back, and there, landing in front of me, was the giant nuclear pterodactyl.
Hello, T-Rex.
Listen, I have a plan to free all of us. We don't need to work under that scientist. We can have our lives again. Be under free will. The pterodactyl didn't listen though and flew forward, blasting me back. Yeah!
Shut it! Don't you understand? We have nothing left to live for. Our home is gone, and all we can do now is listen to our creator.
He flew in once again, but the wolf jumped in the way and slashed at him.
Get the fossil, now!
I did as he said, and once I touched it, I upgraded once again. I gained 5 more hearts, felt stronger than ever, and saw the fossil had transformed into a baby nuclear Brachiosaurus.
Thank you.
We turned and saw the pterodactyl flying away.
When you see me again, you will not make it out alive.
Thanks.
Of course. Now, you said you had a home for us?
On days 36 to 39, I led the wolves back to my base. From there, I began to build them up a comfortable den to make them feel right at home.
Thank you, Fozo! This is much better than our old owner's place.
No problem. We'll be neighbors now. Welcome home. I turned and noticed the baby Brachiosaurus had made himself a spot with the other dinosaurs as well. This is how it should have been from the start. You deserve a peaceful life after being brought back. Just then, the spider from before ran up to me.
I think I found a lead to the next fossil. But what's going on over there is crazy.
What's going on? Lead the way. On days 40 to 44, the spider brought me to a huge modern city covered in radioactive smoke. Everyone was in a panic, and I noticed it was being overrun by gigantic living vegetables? What the? The radiation must have brought them to life.
What is happening?
It's our turn to cook and eat you!
Hey, look at this
this one! He must be tasty too!
Oh no! I ran through the streets as the radioactive vegetables raced after me, shooting radioactive parts of themselves? Ah! Stay away from me! I turned and shot out my nuclear blasts, taking down some of them. However, more would just take their place. Is there an end to you? As I thought I was outnumbered, the ground below me gave out, and I fell into the darkness. Ah! On days 45 to 47, I noticed I'd fallen into the sewer system below. Ow, my head.
Yeah, sorry we had to drop you. Those vegetables are nasty business.
Huh? I looked behind me and saw I had been saved by a pack of raccoons?
Listen, it wasn't entirely out of the goodness of our hearts, pal. We thought you may be the key to stopping all this so things can go back to normal.
You know what's causing this? The raccoons led me to a huge kitchen with chefs all around hard at work. In the center was a giant radioactive stove, and next to it was the nuclear fossil. No way!
Oui. With our new stove and our prized fossil ingredients, we will make the finest soup these billionaires have ever seen.
See those crazy chefs? We steal from their kitchen a lot. But these weird scientists came in and gave them a new radioactive stove. It's polluted the whole city and made the vegetables come to life. So we need someone big and powerful enough to turn off the stove so we can eat again.
I'll help you, as long as I can have that nuclear fossil next to it.
Works for us.
On days 48 to 52, I snuck into the kitchen through a back door and stealthily navigated between shelves full of baked goods and food.
It's a shame that the vegetables got away, but nobody likes them anyway. At least we have the best ingredient for the soup with that fossil.
These chefs don't look too scary. I probably could just scare them away like everyone else. I jumped out and roared at them, causing them to panic. Haha, yes! But just then, one of the chefs hit a button?
Call in the sous chef!
Suddenly, a door opened to reveal a huge chef with a giant meat cleaver.
Looks like Dino Soup will be added to the menu.
Oh no! The sous chef rushed in, swinging his massive blade to try and slash me to pieces. I retaliated with my nuclear attacks, but he was fast and dodged around them.
Hold still, you overgrown chicken!
The sous chef charged at me again, but I dodged out of the way, causing him to break the wall behind me.
Oh, look, it's him! The chef that tried to cook us! Get him, boys!
Oh, rats.
The vegetables all charge at the chef, overwhelming him as he blindly swung his knife. Now's my chance. On days 53 to 56, I made a break for the fossil. I radiated it with my nuclear powers, causing me to upgrade again. I grew larger in size and gained 5 more hearts with new nuclear abilities. Because of this, the fossil began to shake as the nuclear energy revived a small ankylosaurus.
What? Where am I? Back in my day, food didn't fight back.
I'll explain later. First, can you destroy that radioactive stove?
Sure thing.
He used his hammer-like tail to shatter the stove, causing the vegetables to return to normal.
Oh no! The horror! Yeah, you've ruined our high-tech stove! You will pay for that!
He rushed in, but I unleashed my new nuclear power, taking him down. Ugh, glad that's over.
Thank goodness the food's not evil anymore. I thought we were gonna starve.
No problem. It's time to go. On days 57 to 59, I brought the Ankylosaurus back to the revived dinosaur home. I made sure he was comfortable and added plenty of non-alive vegetables for him to eat.
I appreciate it, Fozo. Seems things have really gotten chaotic since I was last alive.
Yeah, tell me about it. Just then, the wolves from before rushed over to me.
Fozo, we tracked down your mom!
Wait, what? Where is she? Take me to her. The wolves led me to an enormous nuclear power plant, and in it were dinosaurs in cages all around, including my mother. No, Mom! On days 60 to 63, I snuck inside towards my mom and the other dinosaurs. But just then, a scientist flipped the switch, causing electricity to spark around their cages.
This is what you dinosaurs deserve for not joining me in my brilliance. You will be used as fuel for my greatest new invention.
I looked over and saw the dinosaurs were powering a huge nuclear mecha T-Rex. Oh no, that's horrible. Suddenly, alarms started to go off.
Nuclear creation has breached containment. Activate annihilation protocol.
One of those rebellious creatures must be lurking about. Find it!
Oh no, I gotta get out of here. I ran back down the hall as particles were blasting towards me. With my nuclear speed, I barely dodged them, knowing if they hit me, I'd explode. I thought I was done for when I saw an exit just up ahead. Almost there! Ah, that was close. I'm sorry, Mom. I'll have to save you later. Just please, stay safe. On days 64 to 68, I escaped the nuclear facility and found myself in a huge dry valley. I need to find the last fossil, but this place is so big. Where do I go from here?
Hey, you lost, pal?
Huh? I turned around and saw a small flock of birds. I'm not lost, I'm just looking for something. Have you seen an ancient nest around here?
Yeah, we know of an ancient nest. That's where we fly for the winter. But why would we tell you?
Please, I need to know where it is to stop a horrible scientist. I tried to explain myself, and after a while, the birds seemed to understand.
Well, if you really want to save the world, you should prove it by helping us. Then we'll tell you where the ancient nest is.
Sounds like a deal. They led me to their nesting grounds, which was in a dried up oasis. The river was empty, and the plants they built their nests with had all withered.
Yeah, it's been slim pickings since the river dried up. If you can bring the water back and fix our home, we'll let you know where the ancient nest is.
I'm on it. On days 69 to 73, I made my way up to the dried riverbed to figure out where the water went. Before too long, I came upon a massive dam blocking off the rest of the water. So that's what caused the river to dry up. Without another word, I used my nuclear blast to tear down the dam and let the water flow free. That was easy.
Hey, who goes there? He destroyed our beautiful dam project, Benny! Get him!
The platypuses rushed in to attack, using their sharp bills and flat tails to bring me down to low hearts. Yeah! I retaliated with another nuclear blast, knocking them both back. That's enough, you two! There's people at the end of the river relying on this water. However, as I said this, one of the platypuses began to mutate. He grew in size and turned into a monstrous nuclear platypus?
Dude, Benny, what happened to you? Snap out of it, man!
The mutant didn't listen and charged in towards me. I hit him with a nuclear explosion, but this only seemed to make him angrier. I gotta find another way. I think I have an idea. Over here. The mutant platypus launched a nuclear blast towards me. I dodged out of the way and noticed he began to grow smaller. Yes. I kept jumping around, avoiding the platypus's attacks. He used up all of his nuclear power, and with one final blast, returned back to normal.
Oh, Benny, you're all right. Oh, I'm sorry we attacked you, Mr. Dinosaur. We'll find another place to build our projects. Yeah, thanks for saving me. Is there any way we can make it up to you?
Yeah, actually, I know a place that could use some builders. On days 74 to 77, I returned to the Bird's Oasis after giving the platypuses the direction to my base. I saw that the water had returned to their homes and filled the rivers, making everything lush and alive again.
I haven't had a bird bath in so long. Thanks for restoring our home, pal. As promised, the ancient nest is downstream. Just follow the water till you get there. You'll find the warmest summer nesting grounds we stay in during the winter.
All right, thanks. I followed the river until I found another nuclear pool of water. Whoa, wasn't this what mutated the platypus earlier? I went over to investigate and noticed a stream from the pool leading up to a fiery volcano? The place was covered in scientists and researchers working on experiments. Is this what the birds meant by warmest place? The ancient nest, it must be on the top. I snuck past the scientists to make my way to the volcano, but one of them noticed me.
It's an escaped nuclear dinosaur! Call in the atomic pterodactyl!
Oh no! Suddenly, the atomic pterodactyl from before dropped down in front of me. This isn't good! Ah! On days 78 to 80, I was running for my life while the pterodactyl chased closely behind. I dashed up the mountain, but it began to shoot out deadly atomic blasts at me. Wah! I continued to jump between ledges to climb up, but the atomic blast of the pterodactyl began to react with the lava, making the volcano spew magma bursts. The burst began to break down the ground under me, forcing me to jump even faster. Come on, I'm so close, just a little further. Charging my nuclear power, I shot a blast of energy under me, sending me flying up to the top. Wah! I landed at the top of the volcano, when suddenly I was hit to the side.
How dare you disturb my home and son's final resting place? I'll make you pay!
What? No! On days 81 to 85, the atomic pterodactyl and I were fighting at the top of the volcano. I had gotten stronger, but he was one of the strongest dinosaurs I've ever fought. Yeah! I'm sorry about your son. I need to use that fossil here to save everyone, though. The pterodactyl didn't listen and shot another blast towards me.
I don't care! You can't save anyone! Not anymore! We all died! Leave!
I realized I could no longer reason with him and began to charge towards the nest, dodging his attacks.
No, no, no!
I finally made it to the fossil and touched it. This caused me to upgrade one last time, as I gained 5 more hearts and became the ultimate nuclear dinosaur. Yes! Just then, the fossil began to shake, causing a huge flash of light and radiation. There in the nest sat a baby pterodactyl.
Dad!
Son, you're alive! I can't believe it! You're actually here!
The two dinosaurs reunited with each other and were happier than ever.
I'm so sorry. Everything I did was for my son. I thought I'd lost him forever and did so many horrible things in my grief. Seeing what you can do, I now realize you can save everyone. Can I make it up to you and my son and join your cause?
Of course. I'm glad your family's back together. I wish mine was. The pterodactyls joined my team, but just then, the ground began to shake.
Oh no! The volcano's gonna erupt again! What do we do?
Follow me!
On days 86 to 90, the pterodactyls and I began escaping from the erupting volcano as the magma and debris was crashing all around.
I'm scared!
Keep moving! We were able to escape, but just as we did, we saw the scientist and his soldiers all gather together in front of a large nuclear machine.
Gentlemen, with your endless dedication and my intellectual leadership, we are changing this world into a desolate wasteland, ruled by me. And I couldn't have asked for better test subjects.
There, trapped with the other dinosaurs, was my mother, looking extremely weak. No, Mom!
We can finally move onward to the final phase.
With all the dinosaurs together, we can ignite a nuclear explosion like no other, creating a blast so big the entire planet's power will be wiped out, leaving me as its sole ruler.
The scientist entered his T-Rex mech as the soldiers cheered him on. He's too powerful now. I have to get back and warn the others. But just then, we were spotted by one of the scientist's men.
Aim to kill! My suit still needs power!
The soldiers started shooting at us and were beginning to do some damage, bringing me down to low hearts. Ah! But just then, the pterodactyl picked me up and with his baby, flew off into the distance, getting away.
Don't worry, men. We'll see him soon enough.
On days 91 and 94, I quickly brought the pterodactyls back to our base and built them a brand new atomic nest for their family to stay in.
Thank you, Photo, for giving us a place to stay safe.
You're welcome, but I'm afraid as long as those scientists are around, we're all still in danger.
Hey, Bozo, need any help?
You have no idea. Gather everybody. We brought together all of my new friends and dinosaur family at the center of the base, and I explained everything I discovered about the scientists' master plan.
You're gonna nuke everything? What are we gonna do?
Everyone, listen. I know they've already taken so much from us. Our homes, our families, but regardless, we're still here. And as long as we're united, I know we can save our world.
He's right. We're gonna let some stupid humans take us out?
We're with ya. You got a plan?
But before I could say anything, a large blast, followed by screaming, sounded off in the distance. It's them. Here's the plan. On days 95 to 99, we made our way to the town area, where the scientist and his soldiers had already set up their nuclear device. With their dinosaur army, they were destroying everything and taking out civilians left and right. Everyone, get into your positions and wait for my signal. I approached the town square, as the scientist and his army took notice.
Well, well, like a moth to a flame. You're too late, bonehead. The machine is already locked and loaded, and I have the perfect power source to start it up.
Beside him was a cage containing other nuclear dinosaurs and my extremely weak mother. No, Mom!
It's over! Men, get him!
The soldiers rushed towards me, but just before they could reach me, now! The atomic pterodactyl swooped in and blasted the soldiers, taking them down. My friends started to jump out from the sides as they all began to fight back. The scientists were starting to get overwhelmed as they started to come at us in large numbers. No, there might be too many of them. But as we took out more of them, some of the other nuclear dinosaurs took notice.
If Bozo can rise up, so can we! For freedom!
No, please! I'm sorry! Ah!
With most of the nuclear dinosaurs now helping us, I made my way towards the machine, slashing away any soldiers I came across. I even used my abilities to jump onto the cage and was able to bite into it and free my mother.
Bozo, you saved us!
You fossilized parasite! You think I've lost? Prepare for your second extinction!
On day 100, I was standing face to face with the lead scientist in his nuclear-fueled mech.
You think I need your stupid family? I'll still end up wiping every single thing off the face of this earth, and it'll all start by ending you!
He rushed in to bite me, but I used my abilities to jump right over him to dodge his attack.
Fascinating! I can't wait to implement that at the right part!
He began to slash at me with his claws, but with my fully upgraded abilities, I shot him with a nuclear blast, pushing him away. He became furious and began unleashing a barrage of bites at me, bringing me down to low hearts. Yeah, no! Even after all I've been through, I still can't defeat him. The scientist began charging another attack, but as he did, I heard a voice cry out to me.
We got you, buddy!
I turned to see my nuclear army backing me up. They all began using their energy, transferring all of their nuclear power to me. Yes. All right, let's finish this. Before the scientist could charge in at me, I unleashed all my new nuclear abilities, causing his mech to malfunction.
What? That's impossible! You're nothing but a worthless lizard made by my own hand!
You're wrong. I'm much more than that. We all are. We deserve to live on this planet just as much as anyone else, and nobody will tell me otherwise. His mech began to short circuit, and as it did, I slashed into him, and with all my nuclear power, I was able to destroy it.
No!
With the scientists now destroyed, the world could restore back to itself, and my dinosaur people and I could finally have a second chance at life. On day 1, I spawned in as a baby nuclear worm. I was in strange glowing water with my family all staring at me.
Son?
What happened to you?
I don't know. Why am I different? Just then, we were interrupted as a large explosion detonated in the distance. Its blast not only ripped through our forest home, but also killed my family.
Son! Ah!
Mom! Dad!
Looks like our nuclear explosion was a success. But the next can be stronger. Collect and find any samples you can.
With that, the soldiers began to march through our home, collecting anything they could find, including my family. No, stop!
Ew, it's mutated!
A nuclear worm? Capture it now!
Son, we need to leave. This way!
On day 2, my parents and I ran for our lives through the forest. Our home was completely destroyed now, and soldiers were closing in to the left and right of us. One of them tried to capture me, but as they shocked me, my scales began to react. I let out a powerful nuclear explosion right at him, knocking the soldier back. Whoa, I can do that? We all continued to run, and it wasn't long until we were cut off by a river.
We won't survive that.
But maybe you will.
Me? I'm not leaving you guys. But the hazmat men turned the corner and began to blast towards us.
These men destroyed everything we loved and plan to destroy even more. Maybe you are nuclear for a reason, son. Maybe you can stop this.
We believe in you.
Before I can say anything, my dad hit me, sending me in the river. Mom! Dad! It wasn't long until I washed up on the shoreline and felt sadder than ever. Those men destroyed my home. I need to find my parents, if they're even alive. As I said this, a player almost stepped on me.
Whoa! Why is this happening?
What? I walked where he came from and saw players everywhere freaking out. Their targets were alive by radioactivity, and they were destroying their homes.
How are you alive?
Shut it! How does it feel to get shot at, losers?
Huh? I turned over to see next to me was a cockroach hiding.
Hey! Move it, pal! You're gonna blow my cover!
But before I can move, one of the mutated targets spotted us.
Target spotted! Oh, great! Now you've got it! Run!
On day 3, the cockroach and I ran, while targets all around turned their attention towards us to take us down. Why is all of this happening?
Look, pal! It's happening from that!
I turned over to see a nuclear barrel left in the middle of the chaos. Wait, is this made by the same people who destroyed my home?
Hey, worm freak! Watch out!
I turned around as a target pushed forward and knocked me into the barrel. Ah! Because of this, its nuclear waste began to absorb into my scales. I upgraded, gained 5 more hearts, and felt stronger than ever. Whoa. I looked around and saw the cockroach and I were completely surrounded by the targets.
Yep, this is how I'm gonna die. Charge!
On day 4, all the targets charged in to take us down. However, because of my new upgrade, I was able to blast out my own explosions at will. Because of this, I blew up each and every one of the surrounding targets, one by one.
Why didn't we get explosive powers? Whoa, look!
We turned to see I'd absorbed all the nuclear waste, helping turn the rest of the base to normal.
Yeah, take that, you stupid target. Huh.
That radiation made me stronger.
It also seemed to clean up this mess too.
Yeah, maybe if I find more, I can be strong enough to stop those hazmat men.
And look, pal, it kinda saved my tail. So if this little bug can do anything to help, just let me know.
Thanks. However, I heard explosions coming from beneath me. What's that? Before I could react, the ground gave out, and I fell into the unknown. On day 5, I landed deep underground. Yeah! I saw I was now in a crystallized cave with a path of radiated water leading ahead. Whoa, maybe following this can lead to more nuclear waste. I was about to follow it until I was blasted to the side. Yeah! There, coming out of hiding, were a bunch of earth creepers.
What is that, Ronnie? I don't know, man, but it's in our home. Let's take it down.
Wait! But the group didn't hesitate and rushed in to blow me up. Wah! I'm nuclear! Blowing me up is not a good idea! I rushed down the hall while more and more creepers barreled in from the side.
We're leading him back to home! We gotta stop him!
As he said this, one dropped down behind me, exploding, launching me into the center of their home. Ah! There, I saw they had a nuclear barrel, but it was set aside from the rest of their cave.
Don't you dare touch that!
Yeah, it's meant for our leader. Well, if we ever see him again.
See him again? What happened? The creepers calmed down and brought me over to a tunnel that had nothing but destruction.
Our leader was randomly taken.
We wanted to use that barrel to possibly make his explosions even stronger. But, he never came home.
I'm sorry. How about a deal? I'll find out where he is, and if I bring him back, can I have that nuclear barrel? On day 6, I made a deal with the creepers and was off looking for their leader. It wasn't long until I arrived at the end of the tunnel and saw I was at a nuclear camp. It was crawling with more hazmat men, and some even got stronger. The creeper leader, he has to be here. I carefully began to sneak through the area, avoiding every man I could.
So far, the tests are going perfectly. Yup. In no time, the boss will have his perfect weapon.
Weapon? Are they making more nukes? Just then, I looked over and saw my worm family in cages. You guys are alive. Is my mom and dad here?
Fozo, what happened to you? You shouldn't be here. These men are dangerous.
Just then, the alarms throughout the facility started going off. As they were, I turned and saw the cage at the end had the creeper leader.
Are you here to save us?
Yes, I am. I'm getting you all out. I used my explosion to blast open all their cages.
Whoa!
Come on! I know a way out!
I followed after the creeper leader as gunfire sprayed all around us. However, just as we were about to escape, we were cut off by a massive hazmat unit.
Looks like one of our mutations is on the loose. You're nothing but an experiment. You and your family belong to us.
He charged in towards me, but I blasted him back with an explosion, stunning him. Because of this, he got extremely angry and began to blast out fire in every direction he could. It spread everywhere, bringing me to low hearts, and the facility around us began to crumble.
Everything's going to collapse!
I was about to be taken down, but the creeper leader exploded him back with all the energy they had, knocking him out. Because of this, we were able to escape and make it all the way back to the creeper's hideout.
You're alive! Go ahead. A deal's a deal.
With that, I went over and absorbed the radioactive barrel. This caused nuclear energy to surge into me once more. I grew larger in size, gained 5 more hearts, and was way larger than before. Whoa, I feel powerful.
Thank you, Worm. Without you, I would be dead. Being in there, I've learned they've left 6 radioactive barrels throughout the world, all to experiment on innocent lives. Maybe it has something to do with their perfect nuke.
No. Then I'll just have to find more so I can be strong enough to take them down and save my parents. We knew this place wasn't safe, so we all left the caves above ground, and there, digging in some trash, was the cockroach from before.
Hey, you weird-looking worm guy! So, my home is kind of destroyed now, and I know you're having problems of your own, so I wanted to show you something.
On days 9 to 10, I followed the roach until he brought us over to a hidden river in the forest. It was beautiful, just like my old home. If only my parents were here to see this.
Yeah, I figured since you saved my life or whatever, I at least owe you a safe place to call home. The name's Roach, by the way.
With that, all of us went to work on making this place fit for each of us. I even made a place for my parents for when I find them.
These men that did this to us, they're no joke. We heard them in the lab. They didn't only harm us, Fozo. We were just collateral damage to their main mission.
I know. Whatever this perfect nuke is, it needs to stop before they destroy anything else. Just then, I felt something heavy shaking the ground nearby.
Come to the Desert Emporium for all your nuclear trade goods!
What the? As I ran out towards it, I saw a wandering trader was off in the distance, riding his elephant.
The best place to trade in the desert, now selling a rare, fully loaded nuclear barrel!
Wait, they're trading one of the barrels? Hey, wait up! I chased after the trader, but couldn't catch up. And it wasn't long until we made it to a large desert trade post. And there, in the center of the bazaar, was the next nuclear waste barrel. Sweet! On days 11 to 12, I was about to walk right into the trade post when I was cut off by an aggressive llama? What the?
Hey! Only those with something to trade can enter here.
Huh? Let me see. I got nothing.
No trade, no entry. Jesse, kick him out.
Hey, you don't understand. That barrel is... But they didn't listen and slammed the gate shut in front of me. I have to get the barrel. There must be something around here I can trade. I began to search around the desert, and after some time, I still couldn't find a thing. No, definitely no. I'm not gonna find anything worth trading here. As I said this, though, the sand below me began to shift as I started to sink into quicksand. No! I fell deep into a lush cave, just under the surface. And there in the wall was a vein of emeralds. I think that'll do. I ran towards it, but because of my body's radiation, all of the lush plants began to wither, making the cave start to fall apart. On days 13 to 14, I darted towards the emerald vein as the entire cave crumbled around me. Thankfully, I was able to quickly mine the ore with my natural worm abilities. But then, I started to hear something else.
What have you done to our cave?
Sorry? The furious plants rushed in to try and take me down for hurting their home. I sent out my explosive attacks to shove them back, so I could use the opening to run out of the cave.
Where do you think you're going?
Vines suddenly shot up around me, completely trapping me to the cave floor. Yeah, I can't die here. With another nuclear explosion, I launched myself forward, barely making it out of the cave as it collapsed. I guess the most powerful I get, the more radioactive I am too. Noted. With the emeralds in hand, I made my way back to the trading post. Hello? I have stuff to trade now.
Come in.
The gate opened in front of me to reveal that the waste barrel has started to make everyone in the bazaar extremely sick. Yeah, you guys should have seen this coming. Look, I can stop this. Just let me take the barrel.
Please, take whatever you want.
On days 15 to 16, the traders were getting weaker by the second, so I ran over to the barrel to collect it. But before I could, one of the sick llamas wandered over. No, don't! It didn't listen and drank from the barrel, causing it to mutate into a massive creature.
Jesse, what's gotten into you?
Without warning, the creature bit down and ate the trader whole.
Everyone, run!
Panic set into the entire trading post as everyone scrambled for their lives. This only made the mutant llama freak out as well, as it started to destroy everything in sight. Forget it. I just need that barrel. I used the chaos to run up to it, but when I looked inside, it was empty. Did he drink all of it?
Not my carrots!
Just then, the llama burst through another stall in the area, sending out items all over the place. This caused a flyer to fall right at my feet. Huh? The waste dump. More radioactive barrels could be there. But as I was mid-thought, the mutant llama rampaged right towards me. I tried to blast it back, but it was far stronger than me. And when it got close, it bit down and completely swallowed me whole. On days 17 to 18, I opened my eyes to see that I was now in the mutant's large stomach. That's not a good sign. Suddenly, the entire area began to shake as the llama sent out another deafening roar. I had to find a way out of here. I ran towards the nearest wall and tried to dig into it, but the beast's stomach was just too strong. Stupid llama! I then looked back to see the bubbling pool of stomach acid in the center that had been completely mutated by the waste it drank. Maybe I could absorb it here. Only one way to find out. I leaped into the llama's stomach acid as I felt it burn away at my heart. Yeah! I focused on my nuclear powers and thought about my parents, who still needed me to save them. I won't let you down! Just then, my body started to absorb the radiation, and I started to grow larger and larger.
Please, I'm too rich to die!
I flew out of the llama's mouth in my newly upgraded form. I gained 5 more hearts and grew into an even stronger radioactive worm. I can't believe that worked.
And look, Jesse is all better now. Thank you, creepy worm.
Don't mention it. Well, actually, do you know where this waste dump is? On days 19 to 21, I followed the trader's directions all the way to a run-down dump in the forest. Ugh, they really dump anything here, huh? But after searching around for some time, I didn't see any sign of radioactive barrels.
Hey, quit being so loud.
Huh? I looked over to see a little mole was hiding in the trash.
You'll alert the junk bots. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, right. No one else is even here. But as I said this, a group of rusty robots fell down around me.
Intruder! All organic material must be incinerated!
Oh no! They came in to try and grab me, but I shoved them back with my new radiation blast. However, they were much faster than I thought, and one shocked me from behind. Yeah! And because of this, I passed out. When I awoke, I found that I'd been placed in a dark hallway. Hey, let me out of here! Just then, the lights flickered on to reveal the entire hall was a conveyor belt leading directly into an incinerator.
Disposal process initiated!
Oh, come on! On days 22 to 26, I looked around for any way to escape the incinerator, but no matter what I tried, the conveyor belt wouldn't break from any of my attacks.
Organic material is non-cooperative! Initiate incentive protocol!
I started to hear shifting of metal behind me as the far wall started to close in. No, I can't die here! Just then, one of the side walls started to crack as the mole from earlier dug his way into the belt.
Ah, there you are. This way.
Don't have to tell me twice. I escaped down the tunnel with the mole as alarms started to blare out behind us.
Incinerator compromised! Find them!
The two of us quickly ran back up to the surface and hid behind the piles of trash as the robots searched for us. Hey, why did you save me?
My name's Monty. I saw a couple of worms just like you come by here recently, but they were being dragged around by New Tech.
That was my parents. Where are they now?
I don't know, but I saw the New Tech people looking at some old computer over there.
I looked to where he pointed and saw a giant rusty robot in the center of the dump. There must be something they needed on that computer. I need to see what's on it. Unfortunately, my excitement caused the pile near us to move, and the junk bots took notice.
Motion detected!
Run! On days 27 to 29, the junk bots rushed in from all around the dump as me and Monty darted to where the computer was. Do these robots have weaknesses?
I don't know. Blow them up!
I did as he said and started to fire off explosions left and right to keep the robots off of us.
Here, it's this one.
I ran up to join him at the computer, but the junk bots were still hot on my tail. All right, that's it. I blasted up at the giant robot's head, causing tons of scrap to come crashing down. Heads up! I jumped towards Monty at the last second as all the scrap slammed down on the junk bots behind me.
Oh, nice work.
Thanks. Now, what's on this computer? Monty was able to open it up for me, where we saw a set of coordinates to a nuclear power plant? Why did they need to go there? I better check this out.
I'm coming with you. Those New Tech freaks hurt my family too, but none of them survived like you.
I'm so sorry, but together we can make sure this never happens again. Come on. We headed out at the computer's coordinates, which led us to a hill overlooking a retired power plant. But smoke was still coming from one of their reactors. They're still here. We'd better act fast. On days 30 to 32, I dug through the ground until I started to sense heavy radiation coming from above. Could it be? I slowly peeked up above ground to see I had mined right below the room with a nuclear reactor core. But the second I jumped above ground, the New Tech employees started to flood into the room.
Secure the core!
Uh-oh! I quickly hid behind some of the control panels, barely escaping their view. Then, marching in behind them, came the New Tech CEO.
Finally! This is the power we need for the perfect nuke!
Without hesitation, the CEO walked up and began to absorb the radiation from the core. This caused it to burst with deadly radioactive waves, and his body mutated into a powerful, monstrous form.
Yes, yes!
Oh no, did he just get stronger?
Psst, Flozo, I found your parents.
Wait, really? I hurried back into the tunnel with Monty and resurfaced to see my parents in cages outside. and they were now also mutated.
Let us out of here! Haven't you done enough testing yet?
Oh, be quiet! Once the boss gets back, he decides if you're still useful or not.
No! I have to save them before the CEO comes back.
Don't worry. I'll cause a distraction.
He quickly ran over and slashed down one of the old light poles.
What the?
Eat my dirt, you tech!
Thankfully, his distraction worked, as all the nearby employees chased after him. Now's my chance. On days 33 to 35, I ran up to my parents' cage, finally reuniting with them. Mom, Dad!
Son? What are you doing here?
My sweet boy! It's not safe.
I'm not leaving here without both of you. Stand back! I launched a powerful explosive at their cage, but it was completely resistant to my attacks. I'm not strong enough? Just then, I sensed something nearby and looked over to see the new tech truck held another waste barrel. Wait here! I rushed over and bit into it, causing a surge of radiation through my whole body. I gained 5 more hearts, and now became an even stronger nuclear worm with dozens of mutant legs. Whoa! But my celebration was cut short, as the new tech CEO had made his way inside.
Well, what do we have here?
You monster! I angrily rushed in to attack him, but his nuclear power was much stronger than mine. Gah!
You just never know when to give up, do you? Well then, how about I teach you a lesson?
He turned his attention towards my parents' cage and fired off a deadly blast right towards them. Wait! But I was too late, and his attack exploded the cage in an instant. When the dust settled, only my mother was left. No!
Sweetie, you have to run now!
That's what happens when you mess with me.
He recklessly fired off more blasts towards me, forcing me to run for my life.
In here!
On days 36 to 39, we escaped the power plant and dug all the way back to my base. I can't believe this. My dad, he's gone.
Bozo? What happened?
I told my friends at the base about what New Tech did, and now it's like he's holding my mother hostage. I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Don't say that. You're our only chance to stop them.
He's right, you know. We can't let them continue with those crazy tests. No animal is safe.
I don't know. I can't risk my mom getting killed too. I wandered away from the base so I can have time to think. But as I did, I saw a strange-looking mushroom was spying on me. Hey, why are you following me? Frustrated, I ran after the mushroom until I came across a deep pit in the forest floor. What's down there?
In you go!
I was suddenly pushed from behind, causing me to fall into the pit. Seriously? I looked around at my new surroundings and saw that I was in a massive cavern full of mushroom people.
Finally! The nuclear worm has been found! Come quickly! We've been waiting for you!
Okay, what for? On days 40 to 44, the mushroom led me over to the center of their town, where I saw the next nuclear waste barrel was being held. Whoa, you found one for me?
Hold on, my wiggly companion! That is the winner of our annual Spore Festival! We need your help to get the party started!
Really? I don't have time for this. I went towards the barrel when I was suddenly sprayed with a potent poison. What the? I looked over to see a much larger mushroom had jumped in to cut me off from the barrel.
I thought you were some kind of hero.
Well, sorry to disappoint.
Please, Worm, I beg you! This is all our people look forward to!
I looked around the village and saw that all the mushroom families were staring at me expectantly. All right, but only if I can join to win that barrel.
But of course! We just need your help to retrieve the sacred apple from the great tree so that we can begin the festival!
Oh, one apple? How hard can that be? I was led back to the surface and brought all the way to the roots of a massive tree? Wait, I need to go up there?
Yep, bring it right back to the village when you're done.
Can't one of you just... But as I turned around, the mushroom was gone. I feel like there's something they aren't telling me. On days 45 to 47, I reluctantly began to dig into the tree and naturally mine upwards to reach the top. But along the way, I heard a loud screech shake the entire trunk. What was that? I dug out a little hole in the side of the trunk and looked out to see what was going on. Weird. Suddenly, I was hanked out of the tree and started to fly up into the air. Wah! When I looked up, I saw that I had been grabbed by a massive bird. Let go of me! I blasted up at it, causing it to drop me back down onto the treetop. Why didn't they warn me? I looked over and saw a large apple growing on one of the branches. Bingo! Rushing towards it, I heard a flap of wings above as the bird swooped in again. Stay back! I tried to keep it back with another attack, but it clawed across me first, nearly taking me down in one hit. No, I'm not gonna die here. The bird flew in for a final attack, but I summoned up all my radiation and sent out the deadliest nuclear attack I could, which thankfully took it down for good. Whoa, maybe I'm stronger than I thought. With that, I was able to collect the large apple and bring it all the way back to the mushroom village. All right, one giant apple. Can we get started now?
Of course! Our festival begins with the one and only eating contest!
On days 48 to 52, I lined up next to the other two mushrooms at a table.
For this contest, you must eat your sacred apple slice as fast as possible.
That's why you needed the apple?
Begin!
I watched as the other two competitors started to spray their food with spores. And wait!
What? We mushrooms eat through decomposition.
I'll show you how it's really done. In the blink of an eye, I easily ate the apple with my giant mouth.
We have a winner!
Yes, time to claim my prize.
Don't be shy, Worm. You get to move on to round 2 with...
me!
Aw, man! Better luck next year.
The other mushroom and I were brought over to the center area, where a large circle had been marked on the ground.
The final contest is what we call Fairy Ring. Knock your opponent out of the circle, and you win.
Haha, show me what you got, little worm.
Who you calling little? Bring it on. On days 53 to 56, the large mushroom wasted no time and rushed up to force me out of the ring with this pure strength. I was much faster though, and with my newly upgraded legs, I could dodge his attacks with ease. Take this! I blasted him with my nuclear power, but this only caused him to grow? What the?
Ha ha ha! Stupid worm! Why do you think I want the barrel too?
His much bigger size gave the advantage now, and with just one hit, sent me flying back to the edge of the ring.
Show it who's boss, Toadstool!
You guys take this festival really seriously, huh? Well, so am I. I stood at the edge of the ring and waited for the mushroom to attack again. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, green's really not your color.
What did you just say?
The words enraged him, causing him to rush towards me again. But this time, I was ready and exploded the ground below me to launch myself above him.
What the?
Because of this, he couldn't stop himself from running out of the ring as he crashed into one of the nearby houses.
Oh!
I'm okay.
There you have it, fungal folk. The nuclear worm wins!
Yes, I did it! On days 57 to 59, I went up to the nuclear waste barrel and bit into it, causing my body to absorb all of its radiation. I gained 5 more hearts and grew into an even stronger nuclear worm with the ability to shoot out radiation waves all around me. Awesome!
Thank you so much for this, Worm. Our people desperately need it.
I looked around the village and saw all the mushroom families who got so much joy from watching the festival. It really reminded me of my family. I wish Mom could see this place. You know what? I'm gonna bring her here, right after I become strong enough to save her. I headed back above ground to continue my journey in stopping Newtek. But just then...
Wing 1 to Watchtower. I have visual on the target. Permission to engage?
What the? The fighter jet circled back around in the air and rained down bullets at me from above. Ah! I barely darted under some cover just in time, as his attacks caused flames to light up the forest around me. I waited for them to make another round, and just when they got in range, I shot up an explosion, hitting them right in the air.
Mayday! Mayday! I'm hit! I'm hit!
I watched as the jet crashed down nearby, and from the distance, I heard a voice over the radio.
Wing 1, do you copy? You cannot let the worm live! It could compromise Operation Barrel!
Operation Barrel? Could this be about the last nuclear waste barrel? As I stood there in confusion, another jet fighter came flying by above and started to head out of the forest. Where do you think you're going? On day 60 to 63, I followed the jet's trail, which eventually led me to a coastline. And there, far out in the ocean, was a large military aircraft carrier. That must be their base, but I'll never make it there while those jets are still around.
Wing 2 returned from mission. Failure to eliminate threat.
Those towers are communicating with them. Maybe I can find a way to draw them in. I quietly made my way closer to the watchtower, making sure to use whatever I could for cover. But just when I thought I was being stealthy, I spun around to see a defensive turret had risen up from the ground. It wasted no time and began to lay into me. Yeah! I blasted back at it with my nuclear attacks, but it was much more armored than the plane and completely resisted my attacks. I had no choice but to run for cover as the bullets continued to rain towards me. Come on, Fozo, think! Something has to be controlling those things. I looked towards the tower and saw a large satellite dish on its roof. Bingo! I darted around the natural cover in the area to avoid the turret's line of sight. However, I still got blasted from the other side. Ow! What the?
Target in sight! Take him down!
On days 64 to 68, I went to dig in the ground and tunnel towards the tower. But the moment I tried, one of the turrets exploded me back, sending me flying all the way to the forest.
Wing 2, I have the target on sight!
Oh no! I quickly darted around down the coast and found a place to rethink my strategy. I have to find a way to sneak inside, but they'll just see me from a mile away.
You hate those humans too, huh?
I looked up to see a small, toxic axolotl had run up to me. Yeah, why do you ask?
Those freaks tore up my home for one of their stinking luxury houses. If you help me ruin their place, I can sneak into the tower for you.
All right, you have yourself a deal. I went with the axolotl as we swam out to a remote island where a fancy house had been built on his old home.
Yeah, Brad. I'm so glad we ditched that old base for your dad's vacation home.
Right? Come on, let me show you the hot tub.
Hot tub? That used to be the spring where I grew up, you stupid!
Hey, calm down. We'll make them pay. I promise.
All right. They have a generator under the house. If you can blow that, their place will burn down without hurting my island. I just need you to distract them while I sneak in and open it from the inside.
Got it. Let's do this. On days 69 and 73, the two of us split up as he sneaked up into the house while I searched around for a way to distract the players. Come on, Chad. Let me show you the wicked TV inside. Oh no, I have to keep them out of here. I quickly came up in the water and shot up some of my nuclear waste to burn away at their outdoor shed. What the? My dad's grill is in there! They rushed over to try and put it out, but while they did, I swam to the other side of the house to blast into their boat, causing it to sink.
Brad, it's on the yacht too!
Because of this, the players were beginning to freak out, as I saw the axolotl get my attention from in the house.
I found the switch! Ready?
Ready! He flipped the switch inside, causing the underwater door to open, revealing the house's generator. Here goes nothing! I blasted into it with everything I had, causing all the electricity in the house to spark wildly. No, no, no! My dad's gonna kill me!
Nice work, dude! Those suckers will be moving out in no time!
Alright, now about our deal. We made our way back to the military tower, and I watched as the axolotl easily snuck under the radar of the turrets and crept inside. After some time, the military's jet flew over and landed down nearby.
Hey, what are you doing over here?
You're the one that sent the red alert, didn't you? Oh no.
With that, I jumped out of hiding and blasted the jet, exploding it in a hit. Yes.
Ha! I can't believe they fell for that.
Yep, and now, time to finally get that last waste barrel. On days 74 to 77, I made my way into the water and began to slither onto the deck of the aircraft carrier. Once I did, I saw the last nuclear waste barrel was there for the taking. Bingo!
Well, what are you waiting for?
We ran towards it, but before I could grab it, a sudden shock hit us both back. Looking over, I saw the military general had attacked us from a large mech suit?
First you kill some of my men, next you mess with my son? New Tech was right about you.
What? You're working with them? You don't understand. But he didn't listen and shocked me again, causing me to pass out. When I awoke, I found that I had been placed in an electrified cage below deck. Let me out! I blasted in the cage with all my strength, but nothing was working.
Ha! That puppy is state-of-the-art. Radiation proof. Ain't no way you're... Ah! What just touched my foot?
What? You know I hate bugs!
While they were frantically looking around the room, I saw the toxic axolotl crawl into my cage.
Don't worry, I got you, friend.
With that, he jumped at the mechanics of my cage and burned the wires from the inside, powering off the entire thing.
What the?
I easily took down the soldiers before they could react, finally freeing me from my cage. Hey, thanks, but why did you come back for me?
You think I missed the opportunity to mess with more of these greedy humans? No way!
But the moment he said that, alarms started to sound off all around.
Monsters have breached containment. Initiate furnace protocol.
On his command, the doors to the room slammed shut, and at the same time, the room started to get extremely hot as flames blasted in it. No! Can you shut this down too?
I burned some wires! I'm not a mechanic!
On days 78 to 80, the furnace-like heat in the room started to burn us up, and I knew if we stayed, we wouldn't last long. Hold on! I rushed towards the door to blast them open, but they had built them specifically to lock me in. This place really is radiation-proof. I tried to search around the room for any other exits, but the heat was starting to get to me. That's when I noticed the fire started to heat up the boat itself too, which gave me an idea. That's it. I darted towards the superheated floor and started to dig into them as fast as I could. Each hit would burn away at my heart, but I began to crack the hull of the ship as water started to flood in. Yes, come on! We finally dove down into the hole as I heard the general back in the deck.
What do you mean we're taking on water? Get down there and make sure it's contained!
The general is still too strong. I need to get to that last barrel.
Leave him to me! I've been waiting to pay him back for what he did to my home!
He quickly scurried up to the ship and ran towards the general in his mech.
I said, get down there and... My suit's gone haywire!
I watched as the axolotl used his abilities to burn away the suit's wire from the inside, causing the general to panic. Now's my chance. On days 81 to 85, with the opening, I was able to rush over to the final waste barrel and absorb its radiation. Because of this, my form began to grow even larger in size, and my mutation caused me to glow as my entire worm body became fully empowered like a nuke. Awesome! However, the general finally took notice of my friend and hit him back.
Oh!
Stupid little critter!
Hey, pick on someone your own size!
Ha ha! You asked for it, worm!
The military general blasted out his crazy weapons at me as he was using everything in his mech suit to take me down. Thankfully though, my newly upgraded form made me more deadly than ever as each of my attacks blasted him away. Take that! My next radiation wave hit the general's mech head on, causing it to explode.
Sucker finally got what he deserves.
He sure did. Come on, I have some other humans in mind I want to take down. On days 86 to 90, we swam our way back to the shoreline, on our way to the base. But just as we did, we saw the military general had swam to the shore too, only to come face to face with the completely mutated New Tech CEO.
General.
It's about time you got here. Wait, what happened to you?
I made some upgrades. Now, where is the worm?
He got away, but me and my men will.
That's enough, General. We have no use for you anymore.
What are you talking about? I am a...
But before he could even react, the new tech CEO slammed down in his mutant form, completely crushing the general in a single hit. No, he's even turning on the humans now.
Listen up, men. That stupid worm is still out there, but it's no matter. We'll continue as planned with the launch of the perfect nuke. His mother's radiation will work perfectly for the core.
What? They're gonna put my mom in a nuke? I can't let them do this. I was about to rush out to attack when Monty suddenly popped up from the ground in front of me.
Oh, wait! I found where the nuke is. If you attack them here, they can still launch it after all.
But how do we stop them from launching it?
Well, your friends have a pretty nifty idea for that.
On days 91 to 94, I traveled back to my base with the others, where I saw the mushroom people from before were all around my base. What are you guys doing here?
Your friends told us what new tech has been doing, and while we thrive off of nuclear waste, we couldn't stand to let them get away with what they've done.
Yeah, that's not cool, man.
Thank you guys, it means a lot.
So, what's the plan?
We've tracked down Fozo's mother to a nuclear launch site. The place is heavily guarded with all kinds of weaponry. And they'll just launch your mother the second they smell any trouble.
So, what's the good news?
They don't have anyone watching the underground.
Then that's our way in.
Right. But we still don't have a plan for how to stop the CEO. Even after we get your mom out of there, he could just launch another nuke and do this all over again.
I'm not gonna let that happen. You leave him to me and just make sure they don't get anywhere close to my mother.
We can do that, buddy. We're with you.
I looked around at all my friends in the base and remembered all the people that had been affected by new tech and their tests. Thank you for everything, guys. Let's go take them down once and for all. On days 95 to 99, I crawled to an overlook where I saw NewTek's massive nuclear launch site. There, I saw the perfect nuke they had been building, with my mother held at its center.
You won't get away with this! My son is going to stop you!
Is that right, little one? From the looks of it, your son's just another animal under my heel.
Oh yeah, he's going down for sure.
You ready, Fozo?
Ready.
Check for rocket propulsion. Check for nuclear core. We are ready for launch, sir.
Good. Time for liftoff, men.
Launch in 3, 2, 1.
What is going on there? I said launch.
I'm trying, sir, but it seems that...
Suddenly, the ground below burst open as my friends and I came rushing out into the launch site.
Surprise!
What the... Ah!
We completely ambushed the NewTek forces and began to destroy all the things we could keep them from launching.
Fozo? My sweet boy!
I'm coming, Mom, just hold on. I took down everything in my path to run up to my mother, but before I could reach her, I was sent flying back by the CEO. Ah!
You worthless beast! Do you understand how long I've been working for this? You and everyone here will die by my hands!
On day 100, the NewTek CEO was the last thing between me and my mother. You're gonna pay for everything you've done. Give me back my mom. I angrily rushed in and began to fire off everything I had to try and take him down. He was easily the strongest enemy I'd ever faced, and neither of us were going down without a fight. I came in for a heavy bite though, and hit him head on. However, his mutated form only started to grow larger.
You're not the only one who can adapt, worm.
He retaliated with his own nuclear attacks now, and in his stronger form, he really was unstoppable. Yeah! No, there's only one thing left to do.
You think you have the firepower to kill me? Good luck with that when your mother's still in the blast radius.
Well, that's exactly why I had to distract you.
What?
He spun around just in time to see that my friend broke my mother out of the rocket.
All clear, buddy!
You can do it, son! I believe in you!
Now, give her back!
He tried to rush towards them, but I blasted into him, stunning him in place. Not so fast. With that, I began to charge up all the radiation in my body for one final nuclear explosion.
Wait! Stop! Where are you going?
I let out a massive amount of energy as my body turned into a full-on nuke. And as the dust settled, NewTek was no more, and my family could now finally live in peace. On day 1, I spawned in as a baby nuclear shark. Nuclear waste was being dropped all throughout my home, infecting me and my family.
Welcome, son. It's not much, but it's our home.
Suddenly, the ocean floors around us began to explode upward, sending my family into a panic. There, storming in from the chaos, was the dreadful Drowned. Mom, what's going on?
More nuclear waste! You are not welcome in our ocean! Destroy all of it! Even these mutated freaks!
The Drowned all swam throughout and began to destroy everything they could, even my family.
Son, they're destroying our home. We need to leave now.
They're trying to escape! Stop them!
On day 2, we left our only home, trying to find a place to hide. The Drowned were not giving up though, and it wasn't long until we were cut off by a shoreline.
Son, leave now. I'll hold them off.
No!
Listen, these Drowned want to destroy us for being different. They are wrong. We deserve a home too, and it's the ocean.
All the Drowned were closing in as my mother pushed me into hiding.
Show them, my boy. Show them this ocean's our home too.
She was captured and I knew I had to go. No, those Drowned are evil. I'll show them they mess with the wrong shark. Yeah! I looked over only to see a fisherman standing on top of a dock.
You're in my fishing water, freak! Get lost!
Ow! Because I was hit, my vision started to turn green, and I couldn't control myself. I lashed out at the fisherman and began to unleash nuclear explosions straight at him.
Brr! What kind of shark is that?
The fisherman began to run away, but I chased after him. That waste must have given me powers. Rah! I was following after him until reaching a beachside. There, waiting, was backup. Before I could charge in, my vision returned, and I felt weaker than ever.
Ah! You just made a big mistake, freak! Capture him! We just found ourselves new bait!
On day 3, I was thrown into a tank. I looked around and saw I was on some sort of dock with shops all around.
Get your fish here. They are super duper tasty. What is that thing? It's hideous.
Hey, let me out of here.
Don't worry, you're not alone.
Huh? I turned around to see a strange nuclear fish trapped as well.
Welcome to the Fisherman's Docks, a place where we are used for food.
What? I gotta get out of here. My mom's counting on me. I angrily broke open my tank and began to hop throughout the docks, looking for the nearest exit. Just stay calm. But my nuclear senses were triggered. I looked over and saw a nuclear coral on one of the stands. Whoa, I have to take it.
That disgusting shark broke out? Ah!
All the villagers around began to panic, and some even jumped off the dock.
I'm too beautiful to die!
In the midst of everything, I hopped over to the nuclear coral and collected it. Because of this, I had upgraded into a larger nuclear shark. I gained 5 more hearts, and my nuclear senses had amplified. Whoa! Was that coral connected to me? On day 4, the fisherman who captured me before returned.
This little fish is annoying!
Time to take it down!
They charged in with their weapons, but in my new form, I was able to nuclear bite my enemies.
Ouch, my hand! What the?
They tried their best, but they didn't stand a chance. Yeah, run away! With my victory, I was hopping towards the nearest exit when...
Hey, come on, don't forget about me!
No, you're lucky I'm not eating you.
Hey, we're both nuclear creatures. I know what you are looking for. If you release me, I'll show you.
Huh. Curious, I let the fish out of the tank and followed him through the ocean. It wasn't long until the two of us arrived at an abandoned nuclear factory. There was waste spilling everywhere, flowing into the ocean.
People up here caused all of this. It infected our home. It created us. Created monsters.
No, we aren't monsters. We deserve a life like everyone else. We both looked into the water and saw just how green it was.
I heard this waste spread out and changed 6 different coral reefs to be nuclear, like the one you just collected.
Maybe that's how I stopped the drowned. I need to find the other 5. On day 5, I decided to build a new home at the nuclear shores. I cleaned up the factory from spilling into the ocean, so no other creatures had to face what I was. And after, I made sure to collect more than enough materials to make my new home suit for a real nuclear shark. Perfect. From there, I looked over to see the fish had made himself a home underwater as well.
You saved me! I'm so sticking by your side. By the way, they call me Finn.
Nice to meet you, Finn. With that, I went out to search for food for our home. Before I could find something though, what the? I turned to see a small dolphin. What are you doing?
The drowned! They're looking for me!
Huh? Hey, wait up! I chased after the tiny dolphin, but she wasn't listening to me at all.
Stay away from me, you monster!
Hey! It wasn't long though until the dolphin was killed right in front of me. I looked to find myself in the middle of a destroyed nuclear sea town, and in it looting were the deadly drowned.
All right, the waste here should all be clearing out.
Good. It's time to move on to the next. And any creature that stands in our way like that dolphin, you can kill too.
The drowned left. So this is what they do? Just go through the ocean and kill any creature that stands in their way? I have to stop them. I swam after where they headed until making it to the shoreline of a desert. Great, I lost them.
Whoa, you're a nuclear creature, huh?
What the? You know who I am?
Yeah, my people found a coral that looks just like you. Anyways, bye!
With that, the scorpion went through the desert. Wait, you have a coral reef? Get back here! I chased after him, following the river, until reaching a desert outpost.
You brought this thing here?
He followed me!
I looked over and saw that here in the outpost was another nuclear coral. Another one! I was about to swim over and take it, but was launched aside by a few scorpions. Hey, give me that coral! The scorpion leader stepped in front of it.
This is ours! We have found it! And since then, it has been used to protect our home from the nasty drowned!
They hurt you too? Look, I needed to stop them, okay? The scorpion signaled me, and I followed him until arriving at a strange course. What is this?
You think you have what it takes to stop them? Fine! Then prove it!
On day 7, scorpions all lined up throughout the course. What kind of challenge is this?
Us scorpions take our challenges very seriously. Begin!
I began to partake in his obstacle course. In it were very deadly traps, and if I fell, it would lead right into lava. Whoa, I gotta be careful.
Take this, you loser!
Yeah, walk much?
Scorpions to the left and right of me were shooting out poison, trying to take me down. Yeah! I was out of my comfort zone, hopping from platform to platform out of the water. But thankfully, with one last jump, I was able to make it to the end. Haha, I did it!
Huh. Very well, scary-looking monster. You've completed our deadly task. Come with me.
I went back to the scorpion's main desert outpost, but something was wrong. It was destroyed, and there, standing at another one, was a pirate drowned.
I work for the dreadful drowned, and when I bring this waste back to them, I'll be rewarded.
He picked up the coral and ran away. No, stop! I hopped after him through the desert, and it wasn't long until I arrived at a strange clearing. No, did I lose him? Just then, the ground shook around me. Oh no, the pirate jumped out and landed in front of me.
Ha ha, little shark. You fell right into me trap.
On day 8, the pirate immediately rushed in to attack. Yeah!
Us drowned know about you. Another nuclear creature trying to live in our ocean. Well, you'll be destroyed, just like all you other polluted creatures.
he stepped back and blasted a nuclear beam my way. What? He's using the coral's power. With his new power, he was incredibly strong and had a huge cannon that would take my hearts down to nothing. Thankfully for me though, I was able to counter with my new nuclear bites. Take this! I did my best, but with the coral's power, I knew I was done for until I turned to see that I had backup, the scorpions.
Hey there, dude! You messed with our home? You messed with us!
They charged into battle with me. We were able to outnumber the pirate, and with enough hits, we took him down. Haha! Yes! I collected the drop nuclear coral, and because of this, I upgraded. I now had my very own nuclear wave attacks, and could also now walk on land? Weird, but nice.
Oh, great! Now our home is gone! What now?
I think I have an idea. On days 9 to 10, I brought the scorpions with me back to my base, to the nuclear shores.
This place looks, welcoming. It's better than nothing, I guess.
With that, I went to work and built them up a nice place to stay. I even added tons of desert-themed blocks and cactus to make them feel just at home.
You're a shark, though. Why aren't you trying to, kill us?
Because I know what it's like to have my home taken from me. From there, I went over and placed the 2 corals I had collected down. Because of this, the waste started to grow in size again. Whoa, it's getting stronger? I wonder what'll happen when I find the rest. Just then, a barrage of explosions happened in our home. What happened? I emerged, only to see that our base was invaded by a gang of creepers?
We caught him! Oh, really? Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Silence!
Out walking to the shore was the large creeper leader.
So, the nuclear shark is real. Capture them all! Bring them back to the dome!
Wait, what? I watched as the creepers rushed over and began to capture my friends. And in another explosion, I passed out. On days 11 to 12, I awoke in the middle of an ominous dump. Around me were a few of my friends trapped in cages. No!
He finally woke up! I can say that, genius! Why do you always have to yell at me?
Let me out! I nuclear bit out of my cage and began to chase the small creepers in pure rage. You'll pay for taking my friends! I was about to corner them, but a floor gave out underneath me, causing me to fall in a strange hideout.
We don't wish to end you, but us creepers need your help.
My help? Not a chance! I nuclear slashed at the beast and ran in to fight him in pure rage. He was a tough opponent and had large explosions to his defense. We were evenly matched.
Wait!
What? He threw down a mysterious map on the ground that led straight to a nuclear megalodon maze. What's this?
This is a map that leads to a nuclear coral. And if you want it and your friend's safety, then you'll do exactly what we ask for. Do we have a deal?
I agreed, and the creeper's leader led me out of the dump. It wasn't long until we reached what looked to be a large fisherman society. There, the fishermen from before were back everywhere.
These fishermen here stole something from me, and I want you to be the one to get it back.
On days 13 to 14, I began to stealthily walk through their outpost, avoiding being caught by the fishermen. There's too many of them. If I get caught, I'm done for. I narrowly escaped a farmer and made it inside a loot room. There, at the end, was a mystical-looking charged gunpowder. Whoa, this must be the creeper leader's lost item. Time to claim my prize. I went up and collected it, but as I did...
Break's over. Now it's time to check up on what I was guarding.
Hi there.
Alert! Alert! Someone's stealing from us!
I ran out just in time to see fishermen snapping their heads towards me.
Gary, you had one job, man!
I'm sorry!
The fishermen began to rush at me. Oh no! I panicked and accidentally used the gunpowder, causing it to explode out. Creeper minions? Sweet! The backup came in, but the minion was able to use a projectile blast, sending them down to the ground. No wonder he wanted this. The minions vanished, and I quickly left the fisherman outpost in the midst of the destruction.
Yes, I could sense it. You found it.
I did. Here you go. With that, I traded him the gunpowder for the map.
your friends will be freed as well. You have my word.
On days 15 to 16, I trusted the creeper leader and followed his map. It wasn't long until I arrived back underwater and at the entrance of an ominous looking temple.
Welcome to the old home of the nuclear megalodon. Do not enter.
The coral has to be here. I need to go inside. I swam inside of the temple and I saw that the home of the nuclear megalodon was a giant underwater maze. There's no time to waste.
You shouldn't have done that.
I swam through it as fast as I could. In it were lots of different challenges and death traps. Whoa! But I knew I had to keep pushing. Come on, there has to be a faster way I can get through this. Just then, a strange sensation filled within me, and my nuclear senses triggered again. I could see through the maze walls, and there, glowing at the center, was a nuclear coral. There it is. Now, knowing its location, I was able to make the correct turns until arriving at its center. Haha, that was a piece of cake. I was about to swim up to collect my prize when I was blasted back. Ah! There, in front of me, was the spirit of the large, deadly nuclear megalodon.
You have broken into my old home.
You died, and I'm guessing the drowned did it to you. I'm here to take that nuclear coral so I can stop them.
Ah, a noble cause, but an impossible one. Those drowned have claimed even me. What makes me think you can stop them?
By showing you I can be stronger. The nuclear megalodon was angered by my comment and swam in to attack. He was much larger than me and used his deadly nuclear explosions to his advantage. Yeah, I gotta go. I began to swim through another corridor while the nuclear megalodon chased right behind me.
Who's stronger now?
I gotta think of something. I swam around the corner and quickly was able to hide before he spotted me.
I know you're here somewhere. Accept your fate, shark.
I saw above the nuclear megalodon was an unstable roof. There! Using my nuclear slash, I shot out towards it, causing it to collapse over him.
Ah!
Because of this, he was captured, and I won.
Very well. You have what it takes. Collect the coral.
With that, we went back to the center, and I did. Once collected, I upgraded again. I now had 5 more hearts, and the ability to shoot out nuclear explosions at will. This is sick. I proudly made it out of the water, and saw the creeper crew waiting at the shoreline.
Hey, so we kinda accidentally used a supercharged gunpowder and destroyed our entire dump area. You think you could have a place for us to stay?
On days 19 to 21, I made it safely back to base with the creeper crew.
All right, your place is awesome. Know where we can stay?
From there, I took some time to build up the creepers their very own junkyard in the base. Here you go.
Yeah! Come on, boys!
With that, I went over and placed down the nuclear coral next to the others, and the radiation grew stronger. That's the 3rd one. I'm halfway to finding all of them. Hopefully I can in time to stop the drowned. As I said this, I noticed something in the water swimming by.
This coral's gonna be the death of me!
Coral? Wait up! But he just ignored me. I swam behind the crab as he went deeper and deeper into the sea and down into an underwater ravine. This place gives me the creeps. Hey, we shouldn't be down here.
I gotta get home!
Dude, it's not safe. But before I could get his attention, a giant drowned beast ate him whole. Whoa! My scream alerted the beast, who slowly turned towards me. Hi. On days 22 to 26, the drowned beast began to charge towards me. I swam up to the top of the ravine, trying to dodge his massive jaws. Ah! What the? I knew I had to fight back and tried cutting into it with my nuclear slashes, but they barely phased him. This thing is crazy strong. As I said this, the drowned came charging up and was about to swallow me whole. Wait! However, the drowned was knocked back by a powerful blast.
Hurry! That won't stun him for long!
Huh? I turned around to see a large crab swimming above the ravine. You saved me?
Yeah, and did you not hear me? We have to go now!
I quickly followed the crab as we swam away from the beast's ravine and hid in a forest of seaweed. What was that guy's deal?
That drowned beast has feasted on my people ever since the dreadful drowned found our part of the ocean.
The drowned? Look, do you have a nuclear coral?
You do realize how weird of a question that is, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry, but I need it to stop the dreadful drown.
All right. I'll bring you to it.
On days 27 to 29, the crab led me all the way to his people's sandcastle home. The place was heavily destroyed though, and nearly in ruins. What happened?
The drown happened. Come along now.
He led me to the center of their home, where they held the next coral. Yes! I went up to grab it, but some of the crabs cut me off. Hey!
I said I would bring you here, but I cannot just simply hand over the coral for free.
But I need this. I can use it to stop the drown.
We hate the drowned just as much as any other beast, especially that beast. If only we had some way of drawing it out of its den.
Please, I'll do anything.
Anything for the coral, you say?
Yes?
Then I have a perfect idea on how you can earn it. Men, it's time! We finally have the missing piece of our plan!
Oh, you'll regret agreeing to this.
Why do I have a bad feeling about this?
All you need to do is make the drowned beast chase you all the way back here. Then we can enact our plan. Do we have a deal?
I guess I have no other choice. Deal. On days 30 to 32, I went back to the Drown's Ravine and swam cautiously over it. They called you bloodthirsty, huh? Then maybe this'll draw you out. I shot down the nuclear blast into it and waited, but nothing happened. Why didn't that work? I swam all the way at the bottom of the ravine until... Hey, remember me? Ah! I quickly began to swim as the drown chased closely behind. I made a break for the seaweed forest to hide and began dodging between all of it to try and cover my escape. Those crabs better keep their end of the deal. But as I said this, the drown shot out his powers that hit me head on. Ah! His attack didn't hurt that much, but it caused me to glow in the water, revealing my position? Oh, you gotta be kidding me! The beast quickly swam in and attacked me again, and his attack nearly took me out in one hit. Yeah! I gotta get out of here! I quickly swam out of the seaweed forest and made a break for the crab sandcastle. But as I burst out into the opening, not a single crab was in sight? Guys? The drowned beast quickly caught up to me now and was about to take me down. On days 33 to 35, all the crabs came out of hiding.
No!
They all blasted the drowned at once, and their combined attacks were pushing it back and dealing loads of damage.
Finish it, ugly shark!
You got it. I swam in and followed up with my powerful nuclear wave attack to finally take the drowned beast down. That was a close one. You guys really did have my back.
Of course! We weren't just gonna leave you out to dry. Now go on. You've earned your reward.
Finally! With that, I swam over and collected the nuclear coral, causing me to upgrade again. I gained 5 more hearts and grew into an even stronger nuclear shark. I now had a new nuclear sprint that allowed me to teleport short distances at will. Sick!
Now, what did you say your plan was about the drowned?
Well, why don't I just show you instead of telling you? On days 36 to 39, I made it back to base with the crabs. I got to work building them up a new sandcastle in the base with the blocks I mined from their old home.
Thank you, Fozo. Our old home would never stand up to another attack.
Of course, I want to save all of the ocean creatures with this power. Speaking of, I went over and placed down the next coral, causing more radiation to fill up. Yes, maybe with all of them together, I can use its power. I stood back to admire all my friends and improvements I'd made, and couldn't help but think of my mother. She would love this place. I hope she's okay. Just then, we heard someone nearby whistling. I swam out to the noise and saw a player fishing from his boat.
Oh, I hope I catch some sick loot today.
What do you think you're doing?
Yaw, sup, little fishy? I died recently to a bunch of weird drowned and lost all my stuff. So here I am, fishing for more loot.
I'm not a fishy. Whatever. Did you say drowned?
Oh, chaw, little guy. They were doing some weird stuff by the ocean. They just keep dumping a bunch of poison.
Oh no, I need to stop them then. Could you lead me to them? On days 40 to 44, I swam beside the player as he led me all the way to the horrible sight. The Drowns had constructed an entire poison rim, and they were carelessly dumping poison into the ocean. Why would they do this? I thought they cared about the ocean.
Yeah, I don't know. It beats me, little guy. I do know that they're doing it, though, to attract sea creatures.
Really? Well, maybe it's time someone reminded them not to mess with it. Thanks for showing me this, by the way.
Yeah, if you find any loot in the waters, let me know.
Now, how am I gonna do this? I swam up closer to the rig, where I saw that they had two main spigots off to the side, pouring a bunch of poison in the water. Because of this, sea creatures were extremely weak, and they were killing them. They're doing this to make finding us polluted creatures easier. I need to destroy those. I quickly swam up to the closest one and unleashed my nuclear wave attack at the base of it. This heavily damaged it, but then some of the drowned took notice.
Hey, it's that stupid shark! Get him!
Their attacks came raining down from above, so I used my new nuclear step ability to teleport to the other side of the spigot and hit it with another attack, destroying it. Yes! Now, on to the other one. On days 45 to 47, I swam over to the second one and was about to destroy it as well when I was blown backwards as I looked up and saw the Drown Leader.
There you are!
Where's my mom?
Shut up, beast!
The Drown Leader then started to unload crazy powerful attacks down on me. Ah! I swam around as quickly as I could trying to dodge them, but he was extremely powerful. He's this strong, I don't stand a chance.
There's nothing you can do! My men could destroy the whole ocean if I wanted them to. And if you keep resisting, I might do just that.
That's it! I made a break for the nearest spout of poison and was able to use the remaining of my energy to destroy it. Because of this, some of the sea creatures were able to snap out of it and escape.
You idiot!
He rushed in towards me, but I blasted below my feet, launching me in the air. That was close. Landing in the water next to me was a letter from the drowned base. Huh? I picked it up, and it was the coordinates to a boat holding another nuclear coral. I need to go there. Now! On days 48 to 52, I followed the note's coordinates to one of the drowned large ships. They really have a lot of bases. I noticed only 3 guards on the deck. This should be easy.
What was that? Quit your worrying. No one's ever gonna get on this boat. We are completely... What the? Kill it!
2 of them began to rush in using their weapons to try and take me down. But I was much stronger now and used my nuclear bite to take them down first. Take that!
Hey! Let's not be hasty here. I was just about to show you the loot room. That's why you're here, right?
Right, show me. The Drown led me under the deck and to the treasury doors. He flipped a switch, opening them for me, where I saw the nuclear coral was here, along with my mom. Mom!
Go on. I won't stop you.
I ran in, but as I did...
My boy, no! It's a trap!
Huh? I turned around to see the Drowned flipped another switch.
Stupid fish!
The doors slammed shut as electricity started to spark around the room. Oh no! On days 53 to 56, I started to run down the room to my mom when more and more of the lightning traps started to hit me. Ah!
Don't worry about me. Destroy the trap first. You can do this.
I looked over and saw what she was talking about. Okay, I'll get us out of this. I continued to run down and use my radiated dash to move around the room, but the traps were still hitting me, causing me to take way too much damage. I was now at extremely low health, and my vision started to get blurry. Mom, I can't do it. I'm not gonna make it.
You can do it, my boy. I believe in you.
My mom's faith in me gave me the strength I needed. I can do this. With all the power I had left, I used my radiated dash to burst forward and ram into the trap, destroying it. Yes, I was able to break my mom out of her cage.
Good job, son. I'm so proud of you. I just wish I was there to protect you through all of this.
It's okay, Mom. Let's just get you out of here. On days 57 and 59, I went over and grabbed the nuclear coral, causing me to upgrade once again. I grew larger in size and could now shoot out a nuclear ray attack. Sick! From there, I helped my mom back to the deck, and we both safely got into the water.
Thank you, my son.
Don't mention it, Mom. Now, come on, let's get out of here. But as we started to swim away,
Die, you stupid fish!
the drown shot out directly at my mother. No! I jumped in the way, taking the hit. Yeah! My green nuclear vision took over again, and I unleashed my new nuclear ray attack right back at the drowned, taking him down. Ugh, whoa.
Oh, my son! What was that?
I'm not sure, but when I get really angry, I think I just hold it in. And after a while, I let out nuclear explosions.
That might just be the key, son. You can wipe out all of the drowned in one nuclear blast.
Maybe. Come on, follow me. On days 60 to 63, the two of us made it safely back to base. I quickly built her a room in my home so we would have a place to rest.
Thank you, son. I'm so proud of the shark you have become.
Thank you, Mom. I'm glad you're back safe.
Me too, my boy. Now remember, learn to control that nuclear anger. You may need it.
I know. With that, I went over and placed a nuclear coral next to the others in my home, causing more of the ocean to radiate. All right.
Well, would you look at that? Just one more heart and you'll be able to face the drown leader.
Yeah, but I have no idea where the last coral could be. Just then, I felt a creeping chill run down my spine.
Who's there?
Appearing out of nowhere in front of us was a Kraken spirit. Wah!
Ah, Mother of Neptune!
I mean you no harm, nuclear shark. I am here to be your guide.
What are you talking about?
I will be your guide to the final nuclear coral, which resides in the heart of the ocean's volcano.
On days 64 to 68, the Kraken spirit led me across the ocean to a burning biome of crazy lava spires. Whoa, the nuclear coral is here?
Not quite. There is something you need to do first.
What do you mean?
This is the lava path, a parkour of death traps and burning lava. And at the top resides the key to the volcano's center.
And that will bring us to the coral?
Precisely.
Alright, here goes nothing then. I started the parkour as its hard jumps made it incredibly difficult. This place is rough. It was then that I heard something.
Intruder!
Huh? I turned around to see a group of lava bats were following me. Hi there? You wouldn't happen to be nice lava bats, right?
You don't belong! Help!
They all started to rush towards me. Not good! Ah! Can't we talk about this? But they weren't listening and were relentless in their pursuit. Some of them even cut me off around the corner. Yeah! Hey! I unleashed my new ray of nuclear energy at them, taking them down while replenishing my health at the same time. Cool. Not cool. On days 69 to 73, the lava bats flew in once again. I blasted at them, but more and more kept taking their place. Is there an end to these guys? I continued to fight my way through the parkour, but the lava bats' fiery hits slowed me down and brought me to low hearts. I thought I was done for, when suddenly I saw a flash of light. Hot debris came flying down over the bats, taking them out. What was that? I looked over and saw a little ghost axolotl materialize in front of me.
Hurry up! The key is at the top! You can't fail us!
I'm on it. I listened to the ghost and made my way to the top of the volcano. There in front of me was the key over a massive lake of lava. How am I gonna cross through this?
Don't be silly! Use your nuclear power!
Huh? I used my nuclear ray on the lava, which caused a stone pathway to rise up from it. Whoa. I made my way across the bridge and collected the key. Thanks, but who are you and why are you helping me?
I'm one of the creatures that died in the drown's purge of the ocean. This can't continue, and only you have what it takes to make things right. Now, don't delay. You have the key. Let's go to the heart of the volcano.
All right. On days 74 to 77, the Ghost Axolotl and I made our way to the gate of the volcano's heart. It slowly opened, revealing a long tunnel that brought us down into its core. That's the coral. We did it! I made my way towards it when suddenly a huge volcanic golem rose from the ground.
I am the protector of the heart of the volcano. You want this final coral? You must prove yourself worthy!
He charged in and blasted me with lava, knocking me back into the wall. Ah! I tried to fight back with all my nuclear abilities, but they hardly fazed him. How strong is this guy? As we fought, the chamber began to tremble, and the cave started to collapse. No, I have to hurry. As I said this, however, he blasted me back again, bringing me to low hearts.
Prove yourself worthy!
I was about to summon another blast when I noticed the Ghost Axolotl was about to be crushed by the collapsing chamber. No! I rushed over and knocked them out of the way, shielding them from the rocks.
Whoa! I could have died twice! Thank you, Shark.
You risked your own life to save an innocent creature. You have proven yourself worthy. You may have the coral.
On days 78 to 80, I made my way to the coral and began to upgrade one last time. I gained 5 more hearts and became the ultimate nuclear shark. Just then, my vision began to swirl as I was pulled into a vision. All around me were spirits of different sea creatures and the Kraken spirit from before. What's going on?
You have found the last coral and proven yourself worthy of becoming the new protector of the ocean. The dreadful drowned have forsaken their role as the protectors and did not clean the oceans, but turned to violence and murder of innocent creatures. As the new protector, you must do what they could not.
How do I do that?
You must use the power of all the corals on the ocean's altar to cleanse the oceans once and for all. However, it is currently occupied by the drowned.
Then I'll need to defeat them, or hopefully convince them to stop all of this nonsense.
Either way, the ocean's fate rests on you, young shark. Avenge us and save our home!
On days 81 to 85, I was back in the heart of the volcano with the golem and Ghost Axolotl. The chamber was shaking more than ever, and debris continuously fell from the ceiling.
Hey, you done with that coral, buddy? The volcano's gonna blow! We gotta get out of here!
Let's go! We made our way down the long tunnels as rocks fell to the left and right of us. Suddenly, lava began to swiftly pour into the tunnel from behind. No, if that catches up, we're done for.
Do not worry, I'll hold it off.
Are you sure? What if the tunnel collapses with you here?
This is my home. And if I can give a life to save the ocean's new protector, then so be it!
Thank you. I won't let you down. I hesitantly agreed and allowed the Ghost Axolotl to hop on my back while I sped ahead, using my newfound nuclear speed to rush us through the tunnels. Finally, we made it outside, right as it collapsed. The golem, he died saving us. I promise. I'll stop the drown and use the corals to cleanse the ocean. On days 86 to 90, the Ghost Axolotl and I were making our way back to our base.
Those drowned freaks aren't gonna know what hit them!
I hope so. Once we get back to the others, we can all finally end this once and... But before I could finish, a loud flash followed by cheering sounded off in the distance.
Yes, well done, my crew!
Oh no, the drowned! We followed where the noise came from, only to approach a coastline where the drowned army were all standing before their fearful drowned leader.
Men, due to the ongoing annoyance of the nuclear sea menace and its influence across our ocean, we have prepared to take the final step in purifying it permanently.
He turned around and pointed a cannon at both a nuclear and normal sea creature. With the swing of his fist, he fired it directly at them, not only blasting them, but dissolving their bodies to nothing but bones. Oh no, that's horrible.
The nuclear parasites have infested our seas and triumphed for far too long. Existence as they know it ends here. And if that means ridding the other sea creatures as well, so be it!
Sir, the altar is here. We can prepare for the final phase.
Yes! Men, march as we finally cleanse our seas!
No, they're gonna get to the altar before we do. We need to head back to the base and warn the others. On days 91 and 94, I made it back to the shoreline with the ghost Axolotl, and I began to quickly build him a new home before...
Actually, you should probably build that later. I'm dead, so I got time.
Right, sorry, I owe you one. From there, I immediately swam over and brought the final coral next to the others, as they all began to emit a powerful glow. Suddenly, I began to glow as well, as nuclear power charged up within me.
Bozo, we heard a whole bunch of cannons in the distance. Is that them?
Yes, but don't worry. I got a plan. Everyone gather around. With that, all my friends and family stood before me, as I began to explain to them what I discovered.
They can't kill everybody! They've gone mad!
They were already powerful enough taking out the nuclear sea creatures. With the rest of us, we'll be wiped out like nothing!
Just then, everyone began to worry, as all hope seemed to be lost. Listen up! They won't wipe us out unless we let them. So far, I've been through so much, and meeting you all along the way has helped me realize that. Regardless, if you're on land or at sea, we have a right to exist. I want the Drowned to see what they're doing is wrong, but if they don't, I say we show them what happens when you mess with our home. Everyone at first grew quiet, but then all quickly began to cheer.
Let's take back our ocean!
And let's take back our desert! I've been itching to sting some pirates!
What's the plan, sweetie?
Before I could speak, the corals then blasted with nuclear power straight into the sky, guiding a trail of radiation into the distance. This will lead us to the altar. All right, everyone, listen up and follow me. On days 95 to 99, with the guidance of the nuclear power above, we began to make our way to the altar. I could feel the energy of the nuclear corals growing as we got closer. But just before we did, look out! We all dodged a massive cannonball, nearly striking us all down. Whoa, is everyone all right?
Well, well, just in time.
The Drowned leader and his crew were all armed, ready to attack, as the other crew members set up their weapon in front of the altar.
I'm sincerely glad you could make it, fish. All my cannon needs are those crystal shards to power it up. Are you ready to hand them over to me?
Actually, I need you to step aside. The corruption you have spread throughout the ocean ends here.
Is that so? Well, if you want to get to this altar so badly, you'll have to get through us! Men, charge!
With one swing, the Drowned let out a warrior cry and began rushing towards us all. Everyone, follow my lead! We all ran towards the Drowned, and much to their surprise, we began to ruthlessly fight back.
Ah! Stop it! Ah!
Yes, we're doing it! While we were fighting, I turned towards the cannon and saw it was starting up. I gotta get to that altar!
We'll cover you!
My mom began to use her nuclear power to start blasting off Drowned. I used a nuclear blast myself to fly ahead and landed straight in front of the cannon. All right, let's do this. I charged up to destroy the cannon, but before I could, I was hit straight back. Yeah!
Let's get one thing straight, Shark. I'm going to take your corals, power my weapon, and cleanse the ocean of vermin like you!
On day 100, I was face to face with the Drowned leader. He looked furious, and I knew that if I didn't take him out now, my world would be finished. Listen, you don't have to do this.
Silence! I've dealt with your nuclear filth long enough. Time to die!
He rushed in and began to slash into me. The hits were pretty painful. However, I began to blast out nuclear energy, and it burned in his skin.
Ah! No matter! You're still no match for me!
He rained down his power onto me and managed to knock me down to low hearts. No, this can't be happening. Using my nuclear power, I blasted into the sky and landed on him with a powerful slash. I'm giving you one last chance. Stop this now.
No! Who do you think you are? You're nothing but a hazardous mistake! An experiment gone way too over his head! If only you understood how pathetic and weak you really are!
If that's the way you want to do this, then so be it. I charged up a nuclear blast and shot the cannon, blowing it up. I then stepped onto the altar, and when I did, my body began to charge up a mighty atomic explosion. It wiped out all the drowned instantly, killing all the men and their leader.
No!
Yes, we did it! And with that, both the land and the sea were restored to normal, and we all could finally live in peace. On day 1, I spawned in as a baby nuclear Pokemon. I was in a lab surrounded by strange Pokemon trainers, and behind me in tubes were my parents. Mom, Dad!
Son, you need to get out of here!
Yes, I have finally created a new type of Pokemon. With your nuclear powers by my side, all Pokemon will finally be under my control. Get rid of the extras.
The leader signaled his men as they went to my parents to take them down.
No, please!
Stay away! I was extremely angry, causing me to nuclear blast open their tubes, freeing them.
It's Rogue! Capture it!
The trainers ran in to try and capture me, but my dad defended me, causing him to be taken instead. Dad!
Son, this way!
I quickly ran in with my mother to escape until we reached an exit.
You need to get out of here, my boy. They changed you, made you into something else for destruction, and you aren't the only one.
But I don't want to leave you guys.
You aren't. Just promise me you will not let Team Atomic's plan work. Promise!
But before I could, more trainers ran in. My mom hit me out of the exit, causing me to fall into the unknown. On day 2, I descended down the mountains. Mom, Dad, Team Atomic is evil. I have to stop them. Just then, I turned around and realized I was right next to a small trainer camp.
OMG, dude! What is that Pokemon?
I've never seen a Charmander like it.
They walked up to me, but I accidentally shot out a nuclear blast, hurting one of them.
Ouch!
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Quit crying. This thing is strong. Let's catch it.
Wait, what? Ah! I ran for my life, but all the trainers began to throw their Pokeballs at me. Yeah! There were a lot of them, and some were throwing them recklessly.
Mine sucks! That's my 5th chicken!
Focus, dude!
While they were distracted, I was pulled to the side. Whoa! I turned to see a small Squirtle there trapped here with me.
Whoa! You're another nuclear Pokemon! You actually escaped?
Another nuclear Pokemon? There are more? But as I said this, the tree line burst open. We were found.
There you are, Green Charmander!
Oh no! He threw a Pokeball right at me, capturing me. On day 3, I was released. Yeah! I looked around and saw I was now in a Pokemon boxing stadium. I looked forward, and in the stadium were 2 Pokemon battling it out. One was far stronger than the other, and with one more attack, he fainted.
Oh yeah! No one can beat me!
Just then, the trainer knocked me into the arena. Ah! Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the moment you've all been waiting for. In one corner is our challenger, this super green Charmander.
No, let me out of here. I don't have time for this.
On the other side, we have our reigning champion, Hitmonchan. And the prize for whoever wins this battle will be this.
Wait. Is that a nuclear stone? Is it connected to me? As I said this, a bell rang out, and the Pokemon charged into attack. On day 4, we clashed in the boxing ring. The Hitmonchan was very strong and experienced, and outsmarted me with every move. I tried to use my nuclear power, but I couldn't. No, I gotta find a way to control my powers, or I'm done for. I began to run away, which caused me to realize something. The nuclear stone was just there, right for the taking. Here goes nothing. I made my last attempt during the battle, and tried to grab it.
Hey! Put that down!
Before he could stop me, I quickly was able to absorb the stone. Because of this, I got stronger and evolved into a Charmeleon with 5 more hearts.
Hey, that's not fair.
Sorry, but I didn't want to do this fight. The Hitmonchan became insanely angry and charged at me one final time. Not this time. With the stone, I now was able to send out a miniature nuclear blast, knocking him back. Whoa, I can control some of my powers now.
Ow, too hot. Ouch.
The Hitmonchan surrendered, and just like that, I won.
We have our new champion!
While everyone was cheering, I managed to sneak away out of the stadium, and there outside was the Squirtle. Hey, you're all right.
Yeah, thanks to you, I was able to get away. But I just had to follow those dumb trainers to make sure you were all right too. I mean, you are a nuclear Pokemon.
Yeah, do you know more about Team Atomic? On day 5, I followed Squirtle until arriving at a cliffside. There, we overlooked a wasteland with nuclear explosions going off left and right.
Team Atomic has been trying to make a nuclear Pokemon for who knows how long. They finally figured out how. And you are the only one.
If they have a full army of nuclear Pokemon?
Yep, no one will stand a chance against them. And the entire world as we know it could look like this.
Well, that nuclear stone made me stronger. Maybe finding more of them is the key to stopping them. Just then, lightning and rumbling began happening all around us. What's that? Squirtle and I ran for cover as a Pikachu burst out from the ground.
Great! Guess I teleported to the wrong place. Oh well.
I then noticed he had nuclear radiation throughout his body. Does he have another stone? But just then it ran away. Hey, get back here! I tried to follow the Pikachu. However, I heard a scream. Help! No! What's going on over there? On day 6, I followed the noises until finding a village. Villagers were all around panicking, and all their food was gone. No, not our food! I ran in to help, but as soon as the villager spotted me, he hit me back with a sword. Yeah! Hey, you! Another green weird Pokemon! No, take him down before he takes our crops too! All the villagers snapped their heads towards me. Oh no! They all rushed in and pulled out their very own Pokeballs. Wait, stop! But they threw them out, and I was forced to fight against a bunch of carrot Pokemon? Yes, fear the veggies! With the one blast, I fainted all of them. I did not even know those were a thing. Sorry. Look, some dumb lightning Pokemon came by and stole everything from us. Don't worry, okay? I'll help you get it back if you show me where he went. The villager agreed and brought me to a pathway. On the other side of it was a strange cavernous-like home. He lives there? Yes, but be careful. For what? Just as I said this, a loud explosion came from the home, scaring the villager away. I made my way to the entrance and saw inside there were tons of food everywhere. How many villages did this guy steal from? And there at the center was a nuclear stone. Bingo! On day 7, I looked around and made sure that the cave was completely empty. I slowly snuck my way into the base, keeping quiet to make sure I wouldn't be caught. But as I was about to pick it up, a voice startled me.
Hey! What do you think you're doing here?
I turned around and saw that the Pikachu was back. Housekeeping?
Get away from those!
Before I could react, Pikachu rushed at me with his lightning-type attacks that I narrowly avoided. Whoa, what's the big idea, dude?
I can't let you get the nuclear stone. Don't you understand? I can't make him angry!
Wait, what? Who are you talking about? He wasn't listening though and did everything he could to take me down. He had crazy moves and abilities that allowed him to zap and teleport anywhere he pleased. I was about to be hit again, but just then the ground started to shake. What is it this time?
Uh-oh, he's back!
Who's back? I looked over, only to see there approaching was another enormous nuclear Pokemon, Gengar. Another nuclear Pokemon.
The nuclear Charmander. Team Atomic is looking for you.
Sir,
Nuclear Gengar jumped up and slammed the Pikachu to the wall.
Shut up! I'll turn this stupid Pokemon in without your help.
Oh no! On day 8, the Nuclear Gengar tried to take me down. Whoa! I tried to fight back against him and began using the strongest of my nuclear powers. But as they hit, he just shrugged them off? Oh, come on! I kept trying to hurt him, but nothing I did was working. He was about to take me down, but just then the Pikachu hit him to the side.
Hey, you! Grab the stone! Use it to overpower him!
Yeah, you're right. I made use of my smaller size as I maneuvered around him to get to the stone. As I picked them up, I already felt myself growing stronger. I grew larger in size and gained 5 more hearts. Oh yeah! Using a new nuclear slash, I was finally able to hit him.
Whoa! Stop!
He was angry and charged in to stop, but I aimed my slash right to the ceiling and made the cave fall right on top of him.
No!
Yeah, I did it! The nuclear Gengar faded, and the Pikachu came up to me.
Thank you! I'm finally free!
Of course, maybe with your help, we can stop even more Pokemon like him. Ah, no! The Pokemon is back! No, it's fine. He's here to return all the food he took.
Oh, thank you.
On days 9 to 10, the Pikachu and I ran into Splash.
There you are. Come with me.
We followed him until arriving at a hidden base area with a home already made for me.
I figured if we plan to stop Team Atomic, we should have a place to hide.
You want to help me? Thanks. From there, I got to work on building the Pikachu up his very own home as well. And done.
This is amazing! Thanks for the help!
As he said this, a voice rang out from the other side of the base.
Flyers! Flyers for the annual Pokemon race!
He threw me over a paper with a set of coordinates on them.
I'm here to spread the word of our gladiator race. Those who win get a special nuclear prize.
Upcoming race and nuclear prize? I gotta check this out. I immediately went out and followed the coordinates, which brought me to a beachside stadium. Whoa. I tried to get in, but
No one can enter unless providing a gift offering for our games.
gift offering? Like what? I was thrown a book, which showed a crafting recipe for a sunstone? Okay, fine. I'll bring you one. On days 11 to 12, I looked at the book, and in order to make a sunstone, I needed iron, string, and a sun orb? What is that? First off, I found a little mine with one measly iron ore. Huh, look at that. I collected it, and as I made my way back above ground, I came across a room with a bunch of skeletons.
Stop, dude. We're just hanging out.
Nice. You guys have any extra string from your bow, perhaps? The skeleton walked forward and threw me a couple.
Here you go. Cool nuclear powers, by the way. Almost as cool as one of those orbs we saw.
Wait, you saw an orb down here? Where? I followed the skeleton's directions until finding a strange glowing orb at the center of the cavern. A sun orb. I went over to pick it up, but as I did, it popped to life? What the?
Those who want to earn the orb of the sun must catch it. Gotta go.
Oh, you're not getting away. I chased after the orb, but it was so small and fast.
You run like my grandma. Wait, do you even have a grandma?
I had an idea and used my nuclear powers to destroy the ceiling above it right in front of it, cutting it off.
Oh, man.
Because of this, I was able to catch up and collect it. I'm all good now. Finally, I headed back to the city and got to work crafting the sunstone. Here it is. I gave it to the statue and he let me inside. After looking around, I could see a large bird perching onto its throne, and beside him was a nuclear stone. I have to get it. I ran forward for it, but the bird flew up and began to say,
Welcome to the gladiator race. Whoever wins shall get a prize, a nuclear stone that I possess. Good luck to you all.
Great, I have to win a race? A horn sounded off, and a few more fast-looking Pokemon lined up at the starting line.
You guys are going down. That nuclear stone is mine. I want to be nuclear, baby.
Just then, the race began. The other Pokemon jetted forward in front of me. Oh no! I ran after them and saw the race consisted of multiple obstacles and even some parkour. The other Pokemon were really fast, and I knew there was no way I could beat them. Come on, think! Just then, I had an idea. I used my new nuclear claws to explode a hole underneath me. Because of this, I was mining my way through the race from underground, avoiding all of the challenges. I popped back up and was able to get first place right in time. Yes!
What? How is that possible?
Because I'm nuclear.
We have a winner! Please come claim your prize.
I was making my way over to the bird to collect my next upgrade, but just then, something happened. The entire arena began to shake, and large explosions began to happen all around me. Oh no! Team Atomic burst in and ran up to collect the bird and the nuclear stone.
No! Help me!
Oh no, I can't let him just faint. I have to help! On days 15 to 16, I chased after Team Atomic, and it wasn't long until I arrived at a nuclear camp. There, talking to his team, was the trainer leader. Oh no, I can't be spotted or I'm done for.
Hey, you!
I looked over to see the bird was stuck in a cage.
Help me, please!
Hang in there, I'll try to let you out. But suddenly, as I was about to break the cage open, I heard a cry. I looked over and saw my parents were there too, stuck in cages. Mom, Dad! Because I was distracted, a Team Atomic member spotted me. Oh no! Multiple ran in and began to attack. No, this can't be it. I'm done for.
No, you're not. Here, take this.
The bird tossed me over the nuclear stone. On days 17 to 18, I ran for the nuclear stone and picked it up. Because of this, something began to happen. I grew into a full-size nuclear Charizard, gained 5 more hearts, and felt stronger than ever, now being able to fly whenever I please. I turned back to fight against the trainers, but as I did, I saw there were way more. We have to go. I let the bird out of his cage, and we quickly were able to escape.
If it weren't for you, I'd be a goner.
Well, if it weren't for you, I would have never found this stone. We continued to leave and made it back to his now destroyed arena.
Team Atomic, they took everything from me. I'll do whatever I can to help you stop them.
On days 19 to 21, when we got back to the base, we started working on the bird's new home. We decided to give him a huge watchtower with a nest on top so he could act as our guard for anyone that would want to cause trouble. But just as we finished building it, the strangest thing happened. Wow! What the? Am I in a vision?
Bozo, come! You must find me!
Huh? Who was that? Before I could think about it for too long, Squirtle ran up to me panicked.
Bozo, you gotta see this.
When we went outside, I saw there was a trail of nuclear destruction just on the ground. Huh, I wonder what these could be. I started following the trail into the nearest forest when it abruptly ended. Why did it randomly stop here? Out of nowhere, a bunch of Voltorbs began jumping out of the bushes and ambushed me. Ah! Get off of me! Before I could react, a large cage fell down and I was trapped.
We got him! With this guy, maybe we can make our explosions even bigger. Oh yeah! We'll take him down and steal his powers.
What? On days 22 to 26, I was dragged back to the Voltorb lair, and while the Pokemon were gathering around the campfire, their leader came out. It was a giant Voltorb.
You all brought a good one today. Maybe with his nuclear powers, our explosions can be even stronger. Hopefully. That other nuclear statue we found didn't work.
Wait, nuclear Pokemon statue? Just then, I let out a large nuclear blast, breaking me free.
Our prey is attacking back!
That's right, now let me go, and tell me where that statue is before I make you regret it. As I said this, their leader dropped down in front of me.
Oh, you are powerful. You know, maybe you can be useful to us.
What do you mean? The leader brought me over to a room with an empty table.
Us Voltorbs had an electric gem that was our favorite. With it, we were way stronger, but it was stolen. You can get it back. I'll tell you where that nuclear statue is. Do we have a deal?
On days 27 to 29, the Voltorb leader brought me to a clearing, showing a Rattata camp.
These Rattatas came by and stole our gem. It should be here.
I made my way over to its entrance and saw all of them were getting ready to sleep.
All right, everyone. Time to rest.
Once they walked away, I saw it. Giant Voltorb's gem. Huh. Now, to get it. I began to stealthily make my way through the camp, right over to it.
No, Mom, I do have what it takes to be a legendary.
Finally, I made it to the gem. Yes, I picked it up, but as I did, oh no.
Intruder!
He started to panic and went in to attack. but it didn't hurt?
Why am I so weak?
While he was distracted, I quickly carried it off and flew away.
Well, remember this!
I returned to the Voltorb base and showed the giant Voltorb the gem.
Thank you, green Pokemon.
Alright, that's my end of the bargain. It's time to do yours.
Alright then, follow me.
On days 30 to 32, after traveling through the jungle, we finally arrived to an enormous abandoned shrine. In the center was a statue that looked exactly like the Pokemon in my vision. This has to be the right place. I can feel it.
Well, here you are. I'm gonna go now.
The moment the Voltorb left, blue torches inside the temple suddenly came to life. Whoa. Next to the statue, there was a big pedestal, and I felt connected to it. I had the urge to blast my nuclear powers right at it, and once I did, it ignited. A powerful aura then began to surround the statue. There must be more of these throughout the jungle. I better get looking. I began to look through the jungle, and even use my nuclear explosions to break through some trees. Aha, another one. I ignited it, which caused an even larger aura to surround the statue. There must be one more, but where? Just then, I heard the sounds of snoring. I flew over, only to see there was a clearing with a bunch of Snorlaxes sleeping. There at the center was the final pedestal. I began to make my way over, but because of this, I accidentally woke them up.
Hey, who interrupted our sleep?
Wait, I just want to...
Shut it! Let's teach this punk a lesson.
On days 33 to 35, the Snorlaxes were angry and tried to take me down.
Take him down, boys! He's ruining our sleep!
Thankfully, though, I had wings now and was able to fly all above their heads.
Hey, no fair!
With that, I ignited the last pedestal.
Oh, so warm. Never mind, you're cool. Let's go back to sleep.
Man, you guys are weird. I went back to the statue and saw it started transforming, and in a huge burst, it was alive and nuclear. Whoa.
Hello, Pokemon. It is I, Mewtwo.
I saw you in my vision. Who are you?
I am the very first nuclear Pokemon ever made.
Really? What happened to you?
I did a lot of bad things for Team Atomic until I realized what I was doing was wrong. Then they turned me into a statue. But now that I am freed, I want to take them down.
As he said this, Mewtwo floated forward and threw me a nuclear stone. All right. With it, I gained another 5 hearts and can block even more lethal attacks from Pokemon that I battle with. Awesome.
Team Atomic is a force that has never been stopped. If we wish to stop their plans, you must be ready.
On days 36 to 39, I brought Mewtwo back to the base and quickly made them a place to stay.
Thank you.
I then walked around, looking at all the Pokemon that helped me so far. Mom, Dad, I hope you're both able to see this someday.
I know they would be so proud of you, Charizard. We'll find a way to get them back.
I know we will. I just hope they're not mad at me for failing to stop them sooner. As I said this, I felt a strange ghostly presence around me. Coming up from the ground was a Ghastly.
Boo!
Ah!
So, Team Atomic was right. You are just a scared little Pokemon.
His words enraged me as I lashed out my nuclear powers, but he quickly phased into the ground and appeared behind me.
Haha! Team Atomic is gonna love hearing about this.
The Ghastly then quickly phased back in. No, I can't let him tell Team Atomic where our base is. I flew up and out of the base and saw the Ghastly floating off into the distance. I quickly flew up behind him, thankfully taking him down in a single hit. Ha! Who's laughing now? But then I realized where he had led me. It was an entire tower corrupted by radiation, and there at its base was none other than Team Atomic. I snuck closer and watched as the army of trainers were looking over at their leader.
My team, now that you're all here, nothing and no one will be able to stop us from taking control. We will turn this world into whatever we want.
All the trainers began to laugh excitedly. This is bad. I can't let him do this. But as I said this, something hit me from behind, launching me into the open. Yeah! I looked back only to see another Ghastly? No!
Ah, would you look at this? The nuclear Charizard has finally come to surrender, I see.
Never! I'm gonna make you pay for what you've done to me in this entire world!
Oh, really? Well, it will be hard to do that if you're dead!
Team Atomic unleashed an attack that was heading straight for me, when I was suddenly pushed out of the way just in time. What the? I looked over, only to see that a group of Bulbasaurs had saved me.
What is this?
By order of our chief Venusaur, we are here to help the one and only Nuclear Charizard. I hope you don't mind, but we'll be taking him from here.
Why, you little... Capture them!
The army of trainers rushed in, but the Bulbasaurs easily pushed them back with an earth attack.
Sorry for the quick introduction, but we gotta get you out of here.
With their help, we were able to make our way safely out of the area.
Forget it. Let them run and play their little scavenger hunt. We have other plans.
On days 45 to 47, I went with the Bulbasaurs as they led me all the way to a shoreline where I could see an island in the distance, but it was covered in a raging thunderstorm.
You see, that is our home, and our chief Venusaur told us to come find you. He needs your help.
Why does he need me?
A terrible Pokemon is trying to take over the island, and he can't do it alone. Not even the Nuclear Stone is enough.
Wait, did you say the Nuclear Stone?
The chief will do anything to get our home back, but you need to get over there fast.
I'm on it. I took off into the air to fly over the water, but was almost instantly struck by lightning.
Yeah! What part of Deadly Storm did you not understand?
Oh, right. I looked over and saw some rocks poking out of the water. That led to it. Bingo! I began to jump between the rocks, using them to get closer and closer. Lightning was still striking down around me, so I knew I had to be quick with my jumps. The storm only got worse the closer I got, but with one final jump, I made it to the island. Yes! I began to walk around and saw the place was almost in complete ruins. This is horrible, but where is Venusaur? I then saw lightning beams shooting out in the air in the distance. There he is. Okay, here goes nothing. On days 48 to 52, I ran towards the sounds of the battle and made it to a clearing, just as the Chief Venusaur landed in front of me.
Gah!
Are you alright? What's going on?
Here's what's going on.
I looked up, and standing above us was an Alpha Electivire.
Ah, another challenger? You're lucky I'm in the fighting mood!
First you come and destroy my home, and now you joke about it? How dare you!
So much spirit! I'll finish you off first!
He unleashed another electric type attack right at Venusaur. I jumped in the way and used my new nuclear defense to block the attack. I don't think either of us can take him on. We need to find another way.
Come on then, this way!
Ooh, a chase! This'll be fun!
The two of us ran as fast as we could, as Electivire set electric attacks after us. Thankfully, I used my nuclear blast to create a tunnel for us to hide in.
Where did you go?
Okay, I think we're safe here for now.
Thank you, Charizard. I was scared you wouldn't come.
Why? I'm here to help all Pokemon. We'll get through this.
I like your optimism, and when we do stop the Electivire, I will gladly reward you with this nuclear stone. It's the only thing keeping me alive to fight back.
Sweet. As I said this, the tunnel started to shake because of the storm. Well, first, let's get somewhere that's a bit more secure. On days 53 to 56, I tunneled us deeper into the island, where we came across a large cavern full of copper.
Perfect. We can use this.
How exactly?
If we gather enough copper, we can build a lightning rod that will attract Electivire's attacks and make them practically useless.
Great idea. The two of us went around the cave, mining all the copper we could find. But when we came back together...
Perfect! What I need from you now is to buy me some time to build this above ground.
How do I do that? You know, I really don't like this plan anymore.
I just need a little time to build the lightning rod. You got this!
Alright then, if I were an electric type, where would I be? I looked around in the area, but couldn't find him anywhere until...
Hello there!
On days 57 to 59, Electivire angrily shot after me as I flew around the island to keep him distracted. Ah!
I love a good chase!
He began to shoot at me from range with his crazy powerful electric attacks. You better be ready, Venusaur!
Nothing can save you now!
Electivire unleashed another attack that was surely going to hit until it was pulled into the completed lightning rod.
It worked! What is this?
This is what you get for destroying their home. The two of us started to fire off our attacks right at the electric Pokemon. He tried to fire back, but all of his attacks would get redirected.
No!
Venusaur then shot out with an earth attack, allowing me to land the final blow. Yes! With that, the storm around the island finally cleared.
You've truly outdone yourself, Charizard. Here's the nuclear stone, as promised.
I picked up the stone, which caused me to upgrade. I gained 5 more hearts, and now was way larger than before. Awesome. Thank you. And I know you just got your home back and all, but do you think it's safe here? Why don't you come back with me?
My place will always be on this island, but I may know a few Pokemon who would take you up on that offer.
On days 60 to 63, with the Venusaur's blessing, I took his people back to my base so that they would have a place to stay. I quickly began to build them a big grassy fort.
If our leader trusts you to lead us in a time of need, then we'll fight with you to the end.
Awesome. Glad to have you guys on the team. I was going out to find the next nuclear stone when the bird yelled at me from their watchtower.
Hey, Fozo! Thank goodness. We all heard some noise from up ahead, and that little turtle guy went ahead for himself. I thought I could keep a good eye on him from here, but I think he was captured.
Oh no, which way did he go? I rushed up to where the bird pointed towards, and as I did, I began to feel a large chill up my spine. Ugh. Wait, is that snow? I looked ahead to see part of the forest had been overtaken by a layer of ice. Who could have done this? But before I could think, I was hit from behind and began to freeze in place. What? No! Before I could do anything, I passed out. On days 64 to 68, I opened my eyes to find myself frozen in an icy dungeon. What? Where am I?
Bowser!
I looked up, and in front of me was a large, weird beer tick.
Hush now, little one.
And with one blast of his power, he turned my friend into a statue of ice. No! I grew furious and used my atomic blast to break free.
What the? Oh, you must be the nuclear Charizard.
I am. What have you done to my friend?
Keeping him safe, just like the others.
I turn, and amongst the den were other Pokemon frozen ice.
For centuries, Pokemon have been nothing but slaves to all trainers. Now, the atomic trainers have taken over. What life is it to suffer by their hands when we can all remain frozen? Time.
Man, you've lost it. The Pokemon grew angry with me and began hurling towards a large array of icy attacks. Gah, stop! We can team up and rise up against them.
You're wrong. Too much has been taken from me at this point. If you refuse to stay frozen, I'll just have to kill you.
He was about to charge into me, but using a nuclear blast, I shot him into a wall. And there in the wall was a hidden nuclear stone. Who have this stone?
Don't even think about it! That stone is all I have left to remember my boy before he was taken by the trainers.
They took your son? That's horrible. My parents were taken away from me too. That's why we need to stop them before they hurt anyone else. If I can find your son, then maybe I can use the stone.
You truly believe you can get my cub back to me? Please, follow me.
On days 69 to 73, the large Pokemon led me to a building with atomic trainers guarding the outside of it.
This is where my son was taken. From what I overheard, they're doing some kind of experiment with leftover Pokemon they find in the area. That's what they're doing in there.
Don't worry, I'll get your son back. Just gotta find a way to sneak past these guards.
Allow me!
The Beartic used his power to freeze the two guards solid. Nice! From there, I snuck into the lab. I began a maneuver throughout the facility, avoiding the guards' detection. As I hid away from some, I began to overhear their conversation.
Hey, Brayden, got a tissue? That cub juice sneezed all over me.
Gross! Well, let's see how long that little freak lasts in there.
A Cubchoo? That's his son. I must find him. One of the scientists left, so I snuck in, and in the center of the room was a strange machine containing a green Pokeball. Is he in there? Just then, the doors behind me were locked shut.
Rogue Pokemon detected! Activating Pokeball Labyrinth!
What? Suddenly, the machine activated, and I was hit with a beam of light, and before I knew it, I was taken into the Pokeball. On days 74 to 77, I found myself inside the Pokeball, which was set up as a huge maze.
New Pokemon has entered the Techno Labyrinth. Beginning endurance test. Please start running.
What the? Run from what? Just then, I turned around, only to see a mutated Pokemon running straight for me. Ah! I began running through the maze as the mutated Pokemon tried to eat me.
Come here. Let me feast upon you.
I tried to blast him away with my nuclear powers, and at first started to fend him off. But as I did, the walls began blasting me with lasers. Are you kidding me?
Stopping is prohibited. Continue moving.
I flew forward until I heard a sneeze. What the? I looked ahead and saw an exhausted Cubchoo, his son.
I must feed.
Unfortunately, the mutated Pokemon dashed right past me and immediately caught the Cubchoo. No, stop! I let out a nuclear blast right at him, causing him to look right at me.
Ugh, disgusting vermin. What do you think you're doing?
Keeping you from eating somebody. That's somebody's kid, and I'm not gonna let you hurt him.
Oh, please. I've heard plenty about you. You just want that stone. You do not care about this child.
His words infuriated me, causing me to shoot out a nuclear explosion, knocking him back.
Wow! Thanks a ton!
The Cubchoo ran back towards me, but before the mutated Pokemon could rise up to fight again, the computer's voice spoke out.
Mutated Pokemon test failure. Activating extermination protocol.
Just then, lasers started charging up and shooting directly at the mutated Pokemon.
No, please, I'm sorry. Help!
On days 78 to 80, the lasers continued to fire at the mutated Pokemon as the Cubchoo came up next to me.
Pete! You don't understand! You need to help him!
What? He tried to eat us.
But he was made to eat Pokemon like us by these scientists! We can't just leave him!
As the mutated Pokemon cried out, I actually began to come around. You're right. We can't leave one of our own here. We need to save him. Immediately, I shot my nuclear abilities onto the lasers, saving him from vaporization.
What? You saved me.
Yes, we're all suffering because of what Team Atomic is doing. If you help us, we can stop them and we'll be free once and for all. The mutated Pokemon thought to himself and began to come around.
You're right. The only reason I wanted to feed was to sustain my power. But at what costs? No life like this is worth living. Lead the way, Nuclear Charmander.
But just before I could, the whole maze started to shake.
Warning, warning. Captain compromised. Initiating self-destruct sequence.
Hurry back to the entrance. I know a way back out.
The mutated Pokemon led us toward the exit, and with one nuclear blast from myself, we fried the computer circuits, releasing the Pokeball. But unfortunately, alarms started to go off.
Let's get out of here!
On days 81 to 85, we all began running through the halls of the facility. But with the guards alerted, they gave chase. We were about to approach the exit until a security robot dropped in, blocking us from escaping.
Don't worry, I've got this.
The mutated Pokemon ran in and slashed the robot into a wall.
That bot won't stay away for long. You must leave. Hurry!
Wait, what about you?
I'd rather have the entire world live, even if it means I don't. Stop Team Atomic, Bozo. Be our true hero.
With that, the mutated Pokemon continued to fight off the bot, allowing me and the Cubchoo to escape.
He risked his life to save us.
I know, but don't worry, it's not in vain. Now, let's get back to your dad. With that, we marched over back to the Beatrix IC dungeon and brought him back his child.
Dad!
My sneezing pride and joy, you're all right! Boruto did it! Thank you so much. You truly are our greatest hope, Nuclear Charizard. Son, can he have your stone?
Sure, I don't mind.
The Arctic handed me over the final stone, and I collected it, causing me to upgrade. I gained 35 more hearts, had a brand new nuclear beam, and became the most powerful nuclear Pokemon in the world. Yes, Now, let's get you guys someplace much safer. On days 86 to 90, I was making my way back to the base with my new friends, until I heard a huge explosion in the distance. What was that? Suddenly, the sky began to turn a nuclear shade of green, and I realized it was Team Atomic. I split up from the others while I made my way towards the source, and I saw Team Atomic there with an army of nuclear-type Pokemon.
At last, the day of our conquest has arrived. We will create a glorious nuclear wasteland, and from the fallout and ashes of that, build ourselves a new government, a new empire that will control everything. All Pokemon will bow to us and serve us or be destroyed.
The trainers and their Pokemon began to cheer. No, that's horrible. Do they really believe that's okay?
There is only one thing standing in our way. That nuclear Charizard I created all those days ago. He must be destroyed if we are to have our new world. And I have just the perfect thing to lure him in.
I looked over and saw he had my parents in cages. Mom, Dad! I was about to run in, but was suddenly hit by a water blast.
Not so fast, Fozo. You can't fight them alone. You'll die, and they know that. That's why they're trying to lure you in. We need to regroup with everyone. Then we can work together to save your parents.
You're right. Let's hurry back. On days 91 and 94, I rushed back to my base and found everyone in a state of confusion.
Hey, Bozo! Why is the sky green? What's going on?
Team Atomic is making their move. We have to act fast.
What's the plan, Fozo?
We need to take the battle to them. If they're left to continue, they'll nuke the entire world. Only we can stop them.
Well, that's what we're here to do.
Just then, the ground started to shake. What is happening? I looked up and saw the Snorlaxes from before had entered my base. What are you guys doing here?
That weird nuclear group has been setting off explosions everywhere and waking us up. We figured if we helped you, then we'd get some peace and quiet again. We just want to sleep, man.
Well, you've come to the right place. Everyone, let's go. On days 95 to 99, my friends and I found Team Atomic nuking a small, peaceful town. Their nuclear Pokemon were destroying everything and leaving huge craters in the ground. Hey, stop it and let my parents go.
Ah, the little rogue Pokemon has come crawling back. You think you're strong enough to beat me and my nuclear army? You're wrong! We will build an empire from this nuclear wasteland we're creating and control all Pokemon! Anyone who stands in our way will be destroyed, starting with you!
On his command, nuclear Pokemon rushed in to attack me, but were quickly stopped by the bird.
It's now or never, Fozo. Let's crush them!
My friends charged in and fought back, quickly overwhelming the nuclear army. Some trainers tried to capture me, but I took them out with ease. Haha, yes!
Fozo, help us!
I looked over and saw the Team Atomic leader standing over my parents' cages, ready to take them out. No, leave them alone! On day 100, I shot a blast at the Team Atomic leader, making him turn his attention towards me.
You are the last thing standing in my way! Our victory is inevitable! I will give you one last chance to join us. If you don't, you and your parents will die!
The fact you haven't killed me already shows me you're not capable of it. Without hesitating, I shot my nuclear beam at him, knocking him back.
You've grown cocky and overconfident. Allow me to show you my true power!
The leader suddenly splashed a potion on himself and grew even larger. He charged in and began to shoot his own nuclear beams at me. Yeah! How is this possible? You're a human! He didn't answer though, and with a nuclear blast, knocked me down to low hearts. No, I can't lose. I thought I was done for, but suddenly Splash dropped down next to me.
Bozo, you can't let him win. You're strong enough. Believe in yourself like we believe in you.
I thought back to all the friends I'd made from my journey and my parents who nearly died defending me. I won't lose.
What? What are you doing? I created you. You can never defeat me.
I already gave you one final warning, and you still chose to kill innocent people and Pokemon. You won't hurt anyone else. With the confidence from my friends, I let out one final nuclear explosion, taking him down. Yes, I did it! I freed my parents, and we reunited with the others.